And welcome to tonight's episode of the Links of Tartarus here on Drachmae and Demigods. I am Sammy Ferber, and I'll be your host for the evening. And right now I'm using this pencil as a baton, and I'm kind of living for it. Welcome if you are new, welcome if you are not new, welcome back. This is Season 2 of the Links of Tartarus campaign. If this is your first episode, you are jumping into the middle of a story here, but don't worry, every episode that we have ever had is up on our YouTube channel. You can find the link for that down below. That is Season 1 and Season 2. But without further ado, let's hop into the story, because it's real intense, and I'm really excited about it. So, yes, yay Pride episode. The underworld is rainbow today, let's say. Okay, so, previously on the Links of Tartarus, Alexios formed an alliance with Rirmu the Copper, the original Copper Dragon, who brought him to the Peaks of Fate, a desolate neighborhood within the underworld where the three Fates reside. Alexios pleaded with the Fates for his friends' lives, and learned that both Hephaestus and his friends were all destined to be reborn after death. Meanwhile, the rest of the party watched in horror as Persephone herself appeared at the doors of judgment, the Nexus Gateway where dead souls are judged and placed in their designated neighborhoods for the rest of eternity. They watched as the victors all got judged one by one, and Persephone seemed to wish to punish them for daring to cross the Styx after she had closed the underworld off, sending most of them to the hellish descent of punishment. Caroline, the leader of the victors, however, got a different designation. She wormed her way into being chosen as a personal servant in Persephone's palace. And then it was time for the hands of fate to be judged. But, much to Persephone's surprise, their judgment placed them in the Peaks of Fate. Persephone and her right-hand demon Lazarus tried to stop them from crossing through the portal, even momentarily feeble-minding and killing Ryujin, but they were ultimately too late, and the party managed to escape. Safely in their designated neighborhood, the party stopped to rest, with Anura taking a seed and Druid crafting it into sprout in the ground. When they all woke up, the seed had sprouted into an enormous 100-year-old willow, the only tree in this entirely barren landscape. So,
I watered it.
Yeah, that's true, and Ryujin watered it. So, as you all wake up, you find yourself in the unexpected shade of this impossible tree. What are you doing?
Can I investigate the tree and kind of like see if I can figure out if it's been 100 years or if it just kind of see like if I can figure out how fast it grew kind of thing?
Go ahead and make a nature check.
Sammy, I would like to climb the tree.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check.
That's a 23 for me.
23, okay.
I assume that does the trick. Unnatural 20.
Okay. So,
dirty 20?
As you all wake up, Anura immediately starts to examine the bark at the trunk of this tree and the branches that are sort of falling down around you. Ryujin grabs the trunk, it seems sturdy enough, and begins to try to climb his way up and up and up. Anura, looking at the bark and the leaves and the branches, this feels very much like any other normal tree that you have ever experienced in your vast experience with trees. But still, you couldn't have been asleep for 100 years. There's definitely some sort of magic going on. It seems somewhat mundane, that it just seemed to make it grow a bit faster, but magic nonetheless. And as you continue to investigate, it looks like one branch twitches a bit, and you're not sure if maybe that's just a branch moving because of Ryujin's climbing up, but it seems like one branch almost descends a bit further and begins to curl towards you, not in an aggressive way, almost in a curious way.
Can I go over to that branch and look at it?
Yeah. As you look, the branch seems to almost curl toward you, and with a hand somewhat outstretched, it almost flits between your fingers a bit. It's soft to the touch. It feels friendly. And right at the tip of the branch, right as it sort of rests in the palm of your hand, you see a small bud bloom into a flower, curling into a cherry-sized black fruit.
Do I know what the fruit is?
Make another nature check.
Oh God.
As that's happening,
God,
Ryujin,
I'm glad I'm good
you
at this.
are
30,
able...
20.
Gotcha. Ryujin, you're able to climb all the way past the top of this tree. You can poke your head out of the canopy of this tree. And you see with this a bit more elevated position, all around you are mountains. Desolate, brown-gray peaks that you seem to be at the base of a basin that is surrounded by mountains that just go further and further and further up and away from you, with seemingly no end in sight. Anura, with that high roll, you have never seen anything like this fruit before, and you are as confident as you can be that this might be a unique fruit to this unique environment.
Can I see if it's safe or poisonous or something? Based on what I know about fruit?
I mean, I was going to walk over there, and I
Go ahead.
have a proficiency in the poisoner's kit. I was going to see if it's poisonous, if I could figure it out.
Sure, I'll allow, because of that proficiency, I'll allow you to make a medicine check.
Between the two of us, I think with like my experience with,
Yeah,
like,
you can go ahead and
plants,
make
we
that
could
with
do it.
advantage. That's a good point. You can make that with advantage.
I kind of had to learn to survive on fruit. I'm a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that wasn't the best.
Oh no. Why did I say it like that? I'm so sorry.
12.
12. With advantage?
One was a nat 1, and one
Copy.
was a 9.
You don't believe it's poisonous. At the very least, like, it doesn't seem like touching it would cause you any harm. You're not sure about ingesting it, just because you can't see, like, the inside of the fruit. But with your, no pun intended, with your keen eye, you do get the sense that there is some sort of magical energy to this fruit. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, you're not quite sure about.
That's okay. I
I
said
cast
at it,
detect
yes,
poisonous
I-
disease because I forgot I had it prepared because
Okay.
I was like, we might need to check if things are poisonous. I have it prepared.
Great.
Sammy, can I ask you just like a really, just a quick like D&D question?
Sure.
Did you take inspiration for this tree from another thing in D&D?
I don't believe so. I don't
Without
actually know what
getting
you're
too
referencing.
specific? Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
I have no
know.
clue what you're referencing.
I don't know what you're referencing, so the answer is no. Yeah.
What are you
if that makes it-
referencing? What?
there's in the Sunless Citadel, it's it's a dungeon, but basically it I don't know, when they brought it back with the Tales of the Yawning Portal, it's a really old, like 3.5 dungeon they brought back remodeled. Anyway, so there's this tree at the bottom that it's like the summer solstice bears a red apple, and on the winter solstice bears a white apple. The red one basically like gives you it's basically a health apple, you know, and the white one is like just straight poison. Like,
Ooh.
Oh, the more
just
you
like
know.
death.
So it's not that.
It's called the Golthias tree.
Oh, it seems like Joey and Chat knew exactly what you were talking about. Well, that's not what this is. No, you're not. That's not it. What were we talking about?
Is the fruit poisonous? I cast
Oh yes,
detect
you
poison and
cast
disease.
detect poison and disease.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it does not appear poisonous to you.
Can I
Or
look at
can
the
I
tree?
identify
And since
it?
it seems kind of sentient, can I be like, should I eat this and see what it does?
Sure. It doesn't seem to react. The fruit just sort of continues to sit attached to the branch in the palm of your hand, and the rest of the tree just seems to sway a bit in an almost non-existent breeze.
I never finished actually preparing my spells. I was like, did I prepare everything I needed to? I was like, do I have speak with plants? I don't think I did even have this stuff for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do have speak with plants. I prepared it after I did this last week. I
Great.
can't find anything. I'm gonna cast speak with plants. I want to talk to this tree.
Okay. You touch the tree, and you touch your own chest and cast this spell. And you feel your consciousness meld with this tree, and you feel like you will be able to communicate with it.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask it is, did you grow fast? Like, I'm not sure what's happening, like how you managed to grow in the time frame, because there's no way we were asleep for 100 years.
I am pooped.
The response you get comes as if from 3 separate voices speaking just barely out of sync with each other. There's no time. We grew as we grew.
What was the first thing it said? You turned into a robot.
Sorry, there is no time. We grew as we grew.
Okay. And then can I ask it, should I eat the fruit? Is that a thing, or should I just like keep it?
Fruit has no purpose but to be fed upon.
Okay. I'm going to eat the fruit then.
Okay. You eat the fruit. As you bite
I
down
should
into
have
it,
inside checked that first. Oops.
as you bite down into it, you feel it, the juices in it burst in your mouth, and it is delicious. I need you to choose a skill for me.
Any skill?
Any skill.
Oh God, why?
Please choose a skill.
I-
It's like that video, that guy on the street where he goes up to a woman and says, "Name a woman," and
Yeah.
they just freak out. They can't.
I don't know. I'm gonna roll a d20 to decide. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Persuasion.
Persuasion. Will you roll a d6 for me?
Oh my God. Okay. Where's the d6? Oh God, why can't I find a d6? 4.
4. You feel this juice in your mouth, and it's delicious, and it seems to almost get even more tangy and sugary and sweet. And the taste seems to actually get better as you chew. And as you chew, you can feel the source of this magic. You can feel the energy of the peaks of fate from the fates themselves. You feel the energy of the fates guiding you. And for the next hour, all persuasion checks you make are made with advantage.
Oh, okay. I feel like I wasted this now, but okay.
So this is effectively D&D Mario mushrooms.
So I'm guessing. So speak with plants would still be active, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I turn back to the tree and ask if the 3 voices I'm hearing are the fates?
We are but a humble tree on sacred land.
But the magic that lets you grow is from that of the fates, correct?
This land exists as a home for the fates. Everything is the fates.
Well, do I know which mountain and which way the mountain is that the fates are at? Kind of vaguely, maybe. I don't know.
You've never been there. You have no idea.
Can I ask the tree to point in the direction of the fates?
The fates are all around us.
Okay. I want to just, I don't know, look around and say thank you to the fates for allowing the tree to grow.
So what did the fruit do?
I don't know how to describe it in game, except for I'm more persuasive now, I guess.
Some might say you feel more charismatic.
Yeah, because I have a +0 to charisma. Are there any more? Is there any more fruit growing on the tree?
I was just about to say, is any more?
Make a perception check.
It's the god complex
I'll do
kicking
that.
in.
That is, I can't do math, and I made a perfect score on a math test earlier. Oh God. 22.
22. Now looking around, it looks like there are 4 other branches that all seem to be moving not with the rest of the breeze. They all seem to be moving in different directions, seeming to try to get to the other members of your party.
What's the branch doing? Like, because I'm at
There's
the top
one.
of the
There's
tree,
one
aren't I?
that's shooting up, slowly,
Nice.
not aggressively.
tell-
But there's one like as you're there on the canopy, just sort of looking. One sort of like, boop, peeks up behind
I'm
you.
gonna tell everybody to go ahead and take the berries as the tree, or the fruit as the tree offers the fruit to them.
Okay.
They look
Is there
exactly the
another one? Since
I
I
will
just
do
wasted
so.
that one to figure out what happens.
You don't see one. But the
Dang
rest of you
it.
can add to your
Cautiously.
inventory a fate-touched fruit.
Can I speak with the plant or the tree again?
Sure.
Since
See.
I took one for the team to figure out what these fruit did, is there any way I can get another one so we all have one for the monumental task ahead of us?
There is always a way, if the fates decided to be.
Okay, then I'm going to speak out into everything because the fates are there around us apparently everywhere. And just kind of like look up around the mountains and go, I've never met you before. I know you control why we're here, and you're the ones who help decide and help come to the realization that we get another chance to complete this mission and to go back. Since I took one for the team, well, not really took one for the team, I guess, but I was the one who decided to try the fruit to make sure it was safe for everybody else. Is there any way I can get another one for the road so we can actually accomplish the monumental tasks the gods have set before us? If not, it's cool. Just thought I'd ask.
You hear silence.
Really,
Aw,
really.
but I have persuasion advantage.
It's not a
So-
persuasion check. Reason?
because Teams was messing up. It says that I'm not like a team member, so I can't open the chat to get into Owlbear.
Oh, well, someone can send you the link in Discord. Will someone do that, please?
Yeah.
Thanks. So,
Okay.
what are you guys
I
doing?
tried. I'm gonna say thank you one more time to the tree.
I will climb down and
So what? So we know. So what was her? What's the dragon's name?
Rearmu.
Rearmu.
RIRMU.
We
Okay.
struggle so much with this name.
So is Rearmu considered an ally now?
I would say so. At least of
And
me.
do you know how to reach her?
I mean, Adagio can call her. I don't know how magic. Well, I do know how magic dragons are, but I don't know if it's like a thing where if I can go like Rearmu and like she'll come. But she did say call her.
Call her when?
Whenever we're ready. I
Are
said that yesterday.
ready for what? For us to finish
I
our
mean-
task here?
Yeah, I would think so. She wasn't really specific, but I mean, we do have other stuff to do here if we chose to now.
Hey,
mean-
Regin, what did you see while you were up there?
Just a large ring of mountain peaks, and it's just a lot of mountains. That's really it.
And you didn't see like any pathways to get out of this other than the doorway we just went through?
Which, by the way, you look around and there is no doorway.
Oh, frick. Okay.
I-
Great.
I
It
don't
said
think
goodbye. It's out.
I mean, it's really simple. We call rear move, we hitch a ride to the palace. Well, we should probably get some sort of like a direction to go. We free Hades. Hades and Persephone have this whole domestic thing they have going on, and then we just go out the back door.
Okay.
Maybe we
But what
barter
about
for Nora's dad's soul.
the Rakshasa? Right? That'll be here as well, right?
The Rakshasa
that's
will be in
true.
Tartarus, just so you know.
Tartarus.
Yeah.
But so is
That's deep.
Anora's dad's soul, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Ooh.
And how do we get to Tartarus from here?
There is a path called the Deepest Trail, but that path is on the other side of the sticks, on the outside of the sticks.
On the outside? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
And there's probably other ways to get there as well, but that's the only one that's like known.
Okay. Okay. So, what? So should we call Ryumi then?
Now?
I mean,
Oh, so I was thinking about this before we do that. I can use scrying to try and figure out where Hades is.
no,
I
go
mean,
for it.
we know he's in the palace. If we had a direction on where,
Did
well,
we
You
know
have to.
yeah.
I don't think we know he's in
the
the palace. We don't know where he's at all.
How does scrying work? Don't you have to know the? Target?
No, so you can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. If a target knows you're casting this spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed.
So he
And
has a very
so-
small
essentially,
chance.
the more you know the target, the better the chance that you'll actually be able to make it work.
So
Is
kind
But
of
with
like
something like this, Hades
that sounds
could
a lot
just
like
say he's gonna
teleport, to
fail
be
it.
honest. But just
Yeah.
I feel like
I feel like
The
in this case, I
guys
feel like
may
Hades
have
would be like,
tried.
someone's trying to help me, fail it.
But what if this is like with Latos,
the
where I tried to
guys
send him a
must have
message and we just
tried,
couldn't?
right?
I don't know, we can try it. That's the only thing that I know is any creature on the same plane of existence.
Isn't scrying like $1 million?
No, it's a focus worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, but that doesn't
Ooh.
disappear. I keep it.
Ah.
And I already bought one. I got one from the Huntress in the Temple, Zenobeth.
I mean, if you want
Well,
to try,
try
it
it
doesn't
out.
hurt.
Which one of us knows Hades the best?
I have to cast scrying.
That's right. That's right.
know.
You know, who knows? Maybe I have it prepared in my back pocket.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think you have enough levels in Cleric, too.
What do you mean? I'm the Oracle of Delphi.
How many levels do you have in Cleric?
I have 7 levels.
You do not have enough levels to cast scrying.
If I just pretend I'm not a barbarian for 5 seconds. La 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 la.
Then you would, yes.
All right, so
So do we want to try
Anura,
that?
Anura, you're casting scrying.
Yes.
Okay. Just take 10 minutes to cast. So
Yes.
as Anura sits and begins to cast this spell,
Can I, like, as
Any-
I'm doing it, kind of
yeah.
start chanting, like, out into the just, like, the underworld itself, just being like, Hades, please fail this. Hades, please fail this. Automatically fail it so we can find you, please.
you carve some runes into the stone ground around you. And it's the first time you've tried this spell, but you think you've got it down.
All I can think of is that scene from Critical Role. You want to ride the Matrix.
Yeah. Would you guys like to do anything during this 10-minute period?
Um,
I would like to climb the tree and look around myself.
Sure.
Wait, you don't
If I find
trust me?
anything. I want to pull out my handy dandy spyglass.
Oh, must be nice.
Go ahead and make that perception check with advantage. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I want to look for if there is any like little cave entrances or something like that.
Sure.
I also want to like look around the edge because like, if I'm up there, am I able to see the like dome that's like above
Let's find out.
us?
Let's find out.
Okay, cool. Perception 29.
Okay, Jesus. As you saw when you came into this neighborhood, what looked like a sort of translucent dome from above, from inside looks like a perpetual sunset, with no actual sun. But as you get to your slightly elevated peak, you look around and you see what Ryujin saw. These. Whoa! Thanks for gifting the sub, Anna. You see this ring of mountains that just seems to go on for forever. And at first, you're a little disappointed because it looks fairly mundane. But then you catch something in one direction that you sort of have to do a double take. It looks like the peaks go, and then almost a complete mirror of the peaks immediately after it. And it just looks a bit unnatural. And now that you focus on that, you look and you can almost see an invisible line where the mountains start to mirror. And trying to pinpoint all those different elements, you can almost see, invisibly, some sort of straight line, an edge, and almost like an illusion that it goes on further.
Okay, and how far away is that?
Not far at all. Maybe about 100 feet from you, but it seems to go out diagonally from you, almost like a wedge. So you're sort of at the peak of the wedge, but it looks like that line continues and then gets further and further away from you.
Okay, so then while Anora's doing their thing, I want to climb back down and just walk over to where I saw that line and just kind of feel for that.
A real like Truman Show situation. You reach your hand out, and as you get close to that sort of invisible barrier, you can see the air around you almost like warp. It's very like WandaVision, you know? It warps around your hand as you're almost like pushing into it, but it only warps a certain amount before it just stops and you are touching what feels like solid stone, but you still can't see anything.
Okay, well, I made my little investigation. I'll head back and just let everybody know. I'm like, well, it definitely doesn't go on forever. There is a definite wedge that we're in that goes out. Pretty sure we're butting up against the two other places, but there's no way to get across it.
What has Alexios been doing?
What does it
What
feel
has
like?
Alexios been doing?
I'm dead.
During the time Anora's been,
Ritualing.
I would test it out. I would go, Rainbow! Like maybe 3 times, and when that inevitably doesn't work, I'm gonna go to Adagio and just go, hey, you think you can call Rainbow? Like, just tell her that we're here, requesting audience. I don't know. I don't think you have to make it sound so formal. She likes jokes.
But how does that help me?
I mean, if you could squeeze one in, like, hey, Rare Moon, requesting audience, knock knock.
I can't
At
respond
least
to the knock knock when she does.
That's even
Yeah,
funnier.
Who's
but then
there?
you could save
Come find out.
that when she comes back, because that's even an incentive to like come here. Because then she's gonna be like, "Who's there?" And then she's gonna realize, "Oh fuck, I gotta get there to get the punchline." And like, I
Just make
don't,
sure it's a good
I don't,
one.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you should make it good because
Why
you're the one
me?
who said
You're the one
knock knock.
coming up with the plan.
You said,
I'm
you
not
said
trying to get
knock-
eaten here.
You said knock knock.
Oh, I didn't say knock knock. You said knock knock. Am I calling rear moon
I
now?
mean, just call her. Just, hey, we're here. Where you left us? Did we go anywhere? I don't think we.
Hey, we're sitting under the willow tree if you want to come get us.
Yep.
Beep beep boop boop.
There's only one. Yeah, Cass.
Well then, sure. I guess after Nora tells us what they see, I'll be like, yo, rear moon.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll give you a little bit of time to think about that as we go back to Anura. So, Anura.
I mean, you could take extra time. I'm still trying to get my badge back.
That's okay. Anura, you feel your consciousness lift up out of your body. And it's floating and traveling through space toward its target. And it goes nowhere. It seems to almost wander, unable to locate a source before it eventually just comes back into your body.
What does that mean? Do I like know if it failed or if it was just something's blocking it?
Could be. You can make an Arcana check.
Okay. I'll take that. It's an intelligence check. I can't do math again.
Right.
It's a 17.
17. You're not sure if it failed. It feels like it's like you had no phone service. Like the call couldn't connect to where it needed to go. So there was nowhere for the spell to function.
Does scrying just not work in the underworld?
You don't know.
So I'll ask. I don't know who I'll ask, honestly. I'm very confused.
So did it work?
You know that like resurrection spells don't work here, but you haven't heard anything about scrying spells not working, unless it's some sort of new magic that's in the underworld now. But you're not sure.
I don't understand.
So
Can I just cast commune and ask Artemis what is happening? But I don't need to do that. No, that's not a smooth level spell.
did you get anything, Anora?
No, it was like I
Yeah.
started to, and then it's like it couldn't focus on anything. So like not like Hades made the throw, like the saving throw or something, but more like there was.
It's like Persephone.
Do you know, like, whenever we die and we have those out-of-body experiences and we're, like, talking to somebody, how, like, you know, we can see them and talk to them kind of thing, face-to-face, like, there's a connection?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any kind of connection like there normally would be with, like, a divination spell. Like, whenever you pray and you talk to your god, there's that connection, or, like, when I cast commune, there's that connection.
So
There was no connection for the divination.
I wouldn't know anything about
does
that.
that mean Hades isn't here?
Ooh, from what I know about the spell, is that what it could mean, Sammy?
It could. It's certainly possible, but it's
Is Tartarus
not a
a different-
guarantee.
Plane, or is that still
Tartarus is a different plane, yes.
Oh, I
You also-
didn't know
you
it was
also-
a different plane.
Yeah, you also know when Adagio tried to message Lathos that a similar sort of like connection not found thing happened as
I
well.
was gonna ask if this felt similar.
Is
Yeah.
it also one of the things where it has to be on the same plane for a message?
No.
No?
Oh well, that I don't.
Hey, I think it's just that Persephone would think to cut off communications to somebody who she has captured.
Would
be
Rimo
stealth
know
locked.
where he's being held? You guys think?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure Remu mentioned him being captured, and if he's captured, I'm willing to say if it's Persephone, it's in the palace.
I mean, there are Tartarus. Don't make me
I
go.
mean, if it's not the same plane. See, I've never cast Scrying before, so I don't have anything to compare it to, and I
Yeah.
can't cast it again for 24 hours to figure out what to compare it to.
Go
Okay.
scry on the fates next. Hehe, imagine.
I've never
Do you
met
know?
them.
Where would someone else who's waging war on the gods hide something that they consider precious other than right on them? Like right in vicinity.
I mean, like, that's the thing, though, is the reason I think that he might be in Tartarus is because that's where the links were kept, because it was easier to contain them in Tartarus, and the only reason they got out was Persephone. So
I thought the only
Persephone
reason they were
thinks-
safe in Tartarus is because the gods were sealing it. If the gods aren't sealing it, then how is she keeping him in Tartarus?
How were they kept in Tartarus, Sammy? I don't
I
remember.
say
The way the
Maybe-
story goes, they made the deepest pit in Tartarus, threw the links in there, and the pit itself was augmented with the most powerful runic protections that the gods were capable of creating. Which is
Okay.
why it was considered unbreakable, because you'd have to break every single one of those godly enchantments to even get them out.
So she would have had to recreate each of those enchantments if she's keeping him trapped in the same way.
I mean,
I mean, she's a
my
goddess.
money is the palace. I feel like they're
I don't think she
maybe
keep
scrying
him in the
and all that
palace.
is like.
I mean, if she
messed
found a
up
way to
in the
weaken him,
underworld,
she
like
could
she's
keep him
just
anywhere.
in the
I mean, we
palace.
can try the palace. I mean,
Oh, we need to get to the palace first.
the problem is, though, is if we try the palace, we have to sneak around Persephone.
Yeah, let's talk to Rimu. See if Rimu knows that, and if they don't, I guess we can try to find another source of information, or do what we're best at, wing it. Oh, I'm just kidding. Probably
Also,
a bad
I just
idea.
realized-
We're in
We're
hell.
thinking too much.
I just realized Lathos had the chance to tell us who the mute was, or the mute, right? Yeah, the
Mhm.
mute was at the beginning when he saw who it was, and
How
all
would he
he
know?
said was "run." He could have
He-
said Persephone. He said "run."
How does he know what Persephone
He,
said?
who's to say he has ever met Persephone in his life?
You said that there was like he recognized there was like a flicker of recognition before he said "run."
If what I believe happened is that she knew who he was, and he was like, there's only a few people who could know who I am, and that entire list is bad news. It's never a good idea for someone to know who the fuck I am.
On the bright side, though, if we ever have to fight Lathos, we'll know because we're gonna hear a loud ass horn, literally right before.
The effing A.
See, I don't know
He's going,
that. 'cause I
Leroy
wasn't there.
Jenkins!
Exactly.
How do we not know that he wasn't in on it in the first place?
Mm.
What?
I mean,
but he was
if
the
I
one who
remember
wanted us to
correctly,
go
he
to
was-
Artemis's forest.
absolutely
Lazarus takes off his mask and
terrified.
it's just Lathos underneath.
Okay.
He's
Exactly.
absolutely
Like a
I
Scooby-Doo
don't
mystery.
trust him. I don't trust Lathos.
I
Never
think it's
did.
alright.
No.
Lathos is actually just Hades.
I mean, if we want to be real as far as not being able to trust people, every person in this party has made decisions where we shouldn't trust each other, but we still do.
Well,
I didn't do it.
I don't know about that
What
one.
people were talking about.
What did I do?
Do we want to talk about how you died?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you didn't trust the rest of us
Okay.
to go with you.
Wait a
You
minute.
can't trust him because he's dead, not because he's
Did you
evil.
ever
When I
talk
wait,
about
when I
it?
got killed by the Rakshasa, is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't trust you to come with. I was just stupid.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I remember like two of us going, we'll
Listen.
come with you, and then you just going, nah.
Oh, I'm good.
Was it
I wasn't
me or
thinking
was it the
that.
Rakshasa that was like, it must be alone?
No,
Yeah.
I think you said it was fine, and you were just gonna go with them.
I mean, all things considered, the
Except for
voice
Hades.
I'd say was Rakshas.
Listen,
You
that's
do
I mean,
like
I
to
can't.
bicker,
I'm
do you
not
not?
Play a
close to
literal
Glass
dumb
House, and I'm
character,
judging over
okay?
that. So
You guys see just leaning up against one of the cliffs near you, once again with a bowl of grapes,
The
a
Rakshasa.
beautiful black woman with long black hair and these beautiful enormous dreads.
can I ask for a grape? Because I just want to see if she'll give me a grape.
Oh, these are not grapes.
Oh, okay. I was just
They
wondering.
just look and taste and are grapes.
I'm
It's
how-
been a
how
really
long has
long.
How long
Couple
has this
of-
person been here?
You're just noticing her now.
Oh, also, I
How
realized
fast
I
did this
can.
tree grow? Do you know?
I talked to the tree. Time doesn't exist. I can tell you exactly what the tree said about that.
Focus, Uru.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. We're just about ready. We just have a couple questions if you can answer them.
Well,
at
I
all.
would be incredibly concerned if you had no questions. Please, ask away.
Ryujin looks up. I have no questions.
I never have.
well, the first one is
So, are you sure that Hades is in the palace? Do we have anything definite regarding that?
Absolutely
being
not. But what I will say is that I know Hades was there when all of this went down, and I did not see Hades leave ever again. So either he is still there, or wherever she took him, they left from within the palace.
goddamn. Does the
And
palace
Is the palace what?
does the palace lead anywhere else that you know of?
Oh, certainly.
Like,
Like, yeah.
Well, even I have not been in the entire palace, but I have heard stories, and Hades has told me certain things, and I know that there is at least one entire level of that palace entirely made up of teleportation circles and portals to other realms.
god damn it. How do those circles work?
have you?
Well, you have to go to the right circle for the right destination, and you have to be able to cast the spell to get you there. But,
What spell?
for what it's worth, I do not believe that's what happened.
God damn.
Yeah, I don't feel. I feel like if it's. Because the only reason I was thinking Tartarus is because of the thing from before, but if it's the gods have to seal someone in, it's not going to be Tartarus.
Here is what I believe. I hope, for all our sakes, that she did not take him through one of those portals. Because if she did not, well, then you have only a few places to check. But if she did, the entire multiverse is your searching ground.
Well,
Speaking of a few
we need
places
one
to
in that
check,
small.
Multiverse.
We need
have
American
you-
Chavez.
That would cause madness. Wouldn't you say?
Or
Such
It looks like we might
strange
need
things.
a doctor or a witch.
would
Sorry.
you know of like a place where they would keep prisoners?
Now you are asking the right questions. Yes, I would know of such a thing. I have not seen this place myself, but Hades would sometimes tell me that, of course, he would send evil people to the descent of punishment, and even eviler still he would send to Tartarus. But those who had personally wronged him, those who he wished to personally see to their punishment, there is a private dungeon, all the way at the base of the palace, beneath the ground, heavily guarded by both men and Cerberus himself.
I'm gonna say this right now, but you mentioned Cerberus. Sammy, if I can't take a red rubber ball and make Cerberus happy, I'm gonna be so upset.
Technically, wouldn't you need
Okay.
3 red
It's
rubber
true.
balls?
Annabeth did it with 1, and I'm
That only works
wise,
once.
so
So would you know how to get to this theoretical dungeon?
No, but I do know several ways into the palace, each with their own risks to all of us involved.
Lay 'em on us.
You're going with us?
Oh, certainly not. Which is exactly what I was about to say. The easiest way to get into the palace is through that balcony that you saw at the Doors of Judgment. But that would require me flying you up there, and, well, I've only survived this long by keeping my nose out of the Queen's business. Officially, of course. So, although that might be the direct front door route, I do not believe it is the wisest route. For me. Furthermore, because I do not want to be seen helping you at all, there will be no flying you to other places in the underworld to gain you entry. However, we may not need this because the quickest way into the palace for you may be... Well, let me tell you a story first.
God. Sammy, I'm writing notes this time. I'm the note-taking slot.
Rearmoo loves taking her time.
I
Brass
literally
dragons
have
like to talk.
almost a page and a half of just stuff
The
prepared the
coppers.
last 2 sessions.
So, back when Cerberus first came to the underworld, Hades decided to erect in each neighborhood of the underworld a shrine to himself, a place where people could go to pray, to request mercy or an audience or any sort of anything from the king. It would be their personal way to get the ear of the god of the dead. And it is said that wherever you are in the underworld, Cerberus is not far behind, but you will never see him coming. Now, there are many of us who have been here for a good many centuries, and so I have spent time deducing that the way Cerberus is able to get around so quickly is a series of tunnels and portals underneath the underworld, with each one popping out right at each of those shrines. So, all you have to do is figure out how to get into one of those tunnels, and you'll be right there. Of course, you'll have to deal with a Cerberus, but it's better a Cerberus than a goddess.
Where's the shrine in this one?
Far in the peaks, but I can take you there.
Do you know anything that would help us in a fight against a Cerberus? The Cerberus?
Cerberus.
There's only one?
Well, there is the Cerberus, but in the years there have been many children, offspring, lesser Cerberi. You'll find hellhounds and two-headed Cerberi and that sort of creature, but there's only one true Cerberus. But I will tell you this about the beast. At his core, he is a dog, a loyal beast to his master Hades. If you are kind to Hades, he will be kind to you. But if he senses you are a threat to himself or his master, or any mission his master has given him, gods help you.
Sam, I have a question.
Yes.
So these statues, what would happen if we were to maybe somehow find a panel underneath the base of the statue and say Daedalus 23?
What?
What?
You know what that
What
is?
is happening?
What
No,
are you
it's,
saying?
it's Daedalus
What is
Command
that?
23. That's the. Man. Am I the only person that knows what that is?
What are you talking
It is
about?
too late on a Monday to be
Okay,
making
so
references.
That's the command that Annabeth says in the Battle of New York in the Percy Jackson books to like make all the statues fight for them.
Ah,
You know?
I see. I
Oh
see.
my
Yeah.
god. You could have
Here
made the
totum
reference to Harry
locomotor.
Potter for that. though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
Here,
got.
Yeah,
Totem
I could have said that a little better, but it's fine.
Yeah, you
who
went
knows?
so roundabout. I'm
Who
so
knows?
confused.
Could you imagine if we did that and it worked? Blow my mind. Anyway, sorry about that.
Now that we're all confused.
I mean,
That's my dad.
so we
If
go
our
to
intent
the
is true, you'd be
yeah.
fine with Cerberus.
Talk to it or like understand truly, like, hey, we can't or won't hurt Ares.
Ares?
Well, Hades, you know what I mean. You know who we're.
He does
Yeah.
understand language, but he's also been trained as a guard dog, so you may have to make him listen before he merely rolls over.
So look not threatening, move slowly, and talk calmly. Don't
I
show
know,
well,
that
that.
sounds like we're
I
gonna
have
have to
not-
beat the shit out of him a little bit.
Calmly with
No!
a commanding tone.
I'm sorry.
No, we're
If
gonna.
you just said that we're gonna have to attack Cerberus, you can have your death wish and have fun with that.
He said, she literally said he's not gonna roll over easily. So we slap him
Yeah, but
around.
that doesn't mean slap him around. That is not how you get a dog to respect you. That is how you get a dog to be scared of you and then attack you out of fear.
You know,
How
she
many
does have. They
hellhounds
do have
have
a
you met?
point. You know, you are not the first adventurers to potentially go up against the Cerberus. Others have succeeded. Perhaps you will as well.
Take it
What did
from
they
the
do?
nature person, Alexios. You don't get animals to respect you by slapping them around. That makes them scared of you, and then they strike out in fear.
I mean, where I'm
This
from,
is-
we just kill him.
Others adventurers.
Yeah, I don't think
what
we
did
can
they
do that.
exactly to gain his favor?
Well, why don't you go ask Heracles or Orpheus?
Because Orpheus is
well,
a drunk now,
Orpheus
and Heracles
is- yeah.
has never been my graced.
Yeah, Orpheus isn't really responsible.
I don't think Orpheus ever really was in his favor. He just kind of.
Orpheus definitely. Did
I
he
don't
play
know.
music? What did Hercules do? Didn't Hercules fight him? I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure Hercules did. But Hercules also
Wait.
had
Can
already
we-
gone through.
Do we know any stories about Orpheus and Severus?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Also, as far as Heracles actually fighting Cerberus, he had already gone through most of the tasks to make himself immortal at that point, and those were some difficult tasks. We are not at that level.
Okay, that is a. What is 13 plus 4?
17.
17.
17? Yes, I mean, you know the story of Orpheus. He does famously get past Cerberus by playing him music that was so beautiful that it lulled him to sleep.
Okay, so me and Regent could try that. And if anyone knows the spell sleep, sleep.
Yeah, I feel like this
Is
one of
Orpheus
those
a
we can't.
bard?
Yeah.
What if we sneak past him?
I don't think
Good
that's
try.
going to work either. He's got 3 heads, and his whole purpose is to
Okay.
guard.
But if we cast silence on him, maybe he can't hear us. Just like.
I don't
Well,
think
guess if
that's
it's
how
left.
silence works. Silence
If
doesn't
we
mean
pass,
he hears
pass
silence. It
without a
means he is
trace, we
silent.
can like.
No, it means there's a dome of silence around him. He can't hear anything inside the dome. Or we can
I
cast it
don't-
on ourselves and just move.
I will say with pass without a trace,
All of the
that
above.
still does risk.
Well, he still has
Being
3 heads
caught.
to smell all of us anyway, so.
Yeah,
You
that.
got Will, whoa, I got.
So I say we
So,
try it the Orpheus
five.
way, because I'm always down to play a song.
I really do think that, like, treat him like, a living thing and show that we're not a threat, that we want to, save his master.
Oh no.
Might work, because, like, animals can just, like, tell if things are bad or good. They got that intuition.
Okay, cool. So we'll just stand up in front of him, and when his head rips one of us apart, we'll be like, "Hey, man, not cool."
You lowered my constitution score, dick.
Completely out of character, real quick. Heads up, people. Do not beat the shit out of animals in order to get them to respect you. That's
this
not
is your
how it
Drachmae and
works.
Demigods PSA. Don't hit animals.
Just saying. I will figure out how to cast Guiding Bolt in real life and find you if you do.
Listen, it's not okay to hit animals unless you're engaged in combat with a kangaroo that may or may not take
That's
your
true.
life.
If it's
I
you
think
versus a
kangaroos
kangaroo,
are
you
a
gotta
bit of a
fight for your
different
life.
Story. I think kangaroos are a bit of a different story than, like, a dog.
Kangaroos are evil, bro.
Yeah.
They're so
They
aggressive.
are.
Kangaroos are what geese want to be.
They
Yeah.
just, like, lean back on their arms and they just, like,
Yeah. Anyway,
world.
so
Rearmoon,
you were talking
did
about
you
breaking
hear-
in.
Did you hear the song Orpheus played when he put the dog to sleep?
You guys would have no idea what song that was.
No, I was asking
hey,
Rearmoon.
Ryujin, you have the
Oh,
lyre that
Rearmoon.
makes, like,
God,
Yeah,
I thought you said Ryujin.
Rearmoon.
I thought you said
I'm
Ryu. She goes, "Oh, no. I was not there, of course. I just heard about it after the fact. But I heard it was beautiful."
Ryujin, you have the lyre that creates the illusions. You could basically do the same thing and, like, tell a story and lull him to sleep. Or you could use the illusions to show that we're friendly and we're trying to save Hades.
He understands language. We could just talk to him.
But double it down and put the visual
A
with
picture
it.
speaks a
Maybe
thousand
he's
words.
maybe he's a visual learner, okay?
Art is in the eye of the beholder. What if he's like snack chomp?
I mean,
That's
his
what I would
base
do.
instinct is to guard Hades. I don't think he's gonna see someone rescuing Hades and go,
He
yes.
doesn't know we're rescuing Hades. We're just random people jumping into his tunnels.
But if we're showing him that we're trying to rescue Hades,
How do you even show
have
that?
I not said that this whole time? That's
How do you
what-
show that in
Ryujin
picture?
just-
Should we put like
We
a dead
tell him.
skull with like a crown on it and be like trying to rescue? Like, how does
you
that
show-
work?
you
Oh, I've
show
already
the
thought
five
out
of
the
us-
whole scene of illusions. Like, you don't even need to worry about it. I've got it.
Like,
I've
you
got
can
it.
literally just, like, show us breaking Hades out of a jail cell. I don't know what you want from me.
I want to know what Hades looks like in this illusion.
That's
We're
not
still
up to me.
gonna have to
I'm not
sneak
playing the
past
liar.
the guards, right?
I'm not playing the liar. What do you want from me?
Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
This is
Okay.
a ways into the plan.
Okay, we either put him to sleep with the liar, or we somehow magically show him that we're friends, and he, I don't know, we ride on his back and get to the castle. Yay!
I don't understand how
Sounds like
everyone
a good
thinks it's so
plan.
hard
But
to
even
show a
in
dog
the
that you're
castle-
friends.
We're either going to the basement, or going either to the portal place, which I hopefully hope the F not, or we're searching the castle itself for Hades. And possibly Lathos, who just magically disappeared, and any other children of Hades we don't know about.
Yeah.
Which would be
Also,
cool. Imagine
I just
it's like a
wanna,
small
like-
room of Hades' children.
I just want to look around at everybody and go, what experience have you had with dogs?
Oh my god.
It's a monstrous,
What do you mean
mythical
everybody?
Cerberus.
I'm excluded
say
from
they're gonna
this.
fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
not
I mean,
like
like-
anything else. It's not like we see monsters and beasts and stuff, and we go like, "Hey, we're gonna save." We literally killed 2 bullets once, or no, it wasn't bullets. It was what's the word?
Chimeras.
It was the chimeras.
Yeah.
'Cause I wanted to
We
adopt
killed
the
2
baby. You wouldn't
chimeras
let
and
me.
left the baby for dead.
You
We
wouldn't
did.
let me adopt it.
No, I wanted it.
The party as a whole wouldn't let
Weren't
me
you,
adopt it.
weren't you the one saying that he wouldn't survive? It's like a
Were
party
we
animal.
on our way to go do that? Were we on our way to do something super dangerous?
Yes, we were on the way to the blood
That-
shore.
Yeah, it would have died. Like,
I mean,
Yes,
Either way.
Cerberus is a monster, but rear move. Did I say it right?
Mhm.
Okay, just literally said at his base he is a dog. who wants to protect his master.
One
And
person
even
said they were
then-
going to attack
Okay,
him, and then
okay,
that
here's
person
my-
took it back.
listen,
No
listen,
one is
here's my
talking about
thought.
killing him anymore.
I'm just
Yeah,
doing
we're not
that.
attacking him. We should
I
find a
didn't say
giant,
we
like
were.
3 giant bones, though, and try to charm it with the music and like show
Exactly.
it that we're trying to help. I think that's the best course of action with that.
Where are we gonna find 3 giant? I can count. Would
I don't
bones
know,
of the
let's
earth count? Can I
find
make
a
them look like bones?
Bronchiosaurus femur.
Well, can you
My
guys cast
logic is
enlarge?
based off of 2 things. One, never have we ever encountered something with a name that wasn't a dick. That's just the thing. 2,
The 100-handed one just wanted to
General-
escape.
general what?
The 100-handed one. He wasn't horrible. He just wanted to get out of the
That's
room.
not true.
What do you mean he's
Oh,
not
no,
sure?
We have not. We have met.
We're,
We have met things
keep
that
going.
are not
We're
like.
getting caught up on the small details that don't
Drama
matter.
class.
Just keep going.
I'm just saying.
Dromocrates. He was literally like, "Oh, friend, psych, I want to eat
Ascent of the
Ryujin."
Slayer.
No, I
Was
meant
a
like
nymph.
Being of the gods.
Well,
I
first
meant
it was
Monster.
like,
monsters, beasts. Either way, don't correct me. We just go. We and point being, how did you saying it's not gonna roll over easily mean we don't hit it? Do we? I look at the dragon.
if we have to physically roll it over. just
I
push
mean,
it
like,
over its
if
side.
if you want to hit Cerberus, be my
No,
guest, dude.
no. I'm not suggesting we hit Cerberus. I just mean that I did not get how we're gonna do this if we're not gonna hit it.
We save
We
Hades
hate-
and we're like, by the way, we killed your dog.
There's so many other ways to gain an animal's trust or like a monster's trust without hitting it.
Yeah,
We've
I
just
don't
never
think-
tried them.
We're
Listen.
trying to brainstorm that, but it keeps
Okay.
going back to hitting him, and we don't want to hit him. We're
All
just
points
going
aside,
to either
I don't think
charm
we could
him
kill Cerberus.
or we're gonna put him to sleep. Those are the 2 options, you guys. We're either
Yes.
charming him or putting him to sleep. Now let's get to the
Yes.
stupid shrine and figure this out.
Yes.
I mean, I can actually
Okay.
cast Charm Person.
I
on
don't
him
think
if
we
he's
could kill
sentient enough.
Cerberus anyway. I think we'd all
What's
get
your
our
charm
shit right.
monster? Okay, Rearmove. I need you to show
Oh,
us.
are we
the
ready now? I just finished my last grape.
Do we
Oh.
do we have
No.
a plan? Actually,
Yeah, that was the plan. We just did.
Cry myself to sleep is the plan.
Alright,
Oh.
let's just get going. Yes?
Yes, let's go.
So you're
wing it.
not going with us.
Get it? Dragon pun.
I
just gonna
support
leave us.
what you are trying to do, but should you fail, I must maintain a nice relationship with the queen.
You've been here a
Okay.
while.
I just
What sort
have
of-
Oh,
I just want to know what kind of powers Persephone has.
Well, when she first came as a girl, she was very gifted with natural magic, and that has not waned at all. But in her years that she has spent here, she has also picked up a bit more of Hades' style of magic as well. Both natural and arcane in nature.
Was she forced to come here?
Now you have asked the question everyone deserves an answer to. No. She and the king were very much in love. So much in love, in fact, that I still do not exactly know why she is doing all of this. What exactly changed, but I could tell you this. There was a moment, 20-something years ago perhaps, that perhaps was the spark of this recent frustration between them.
what was
How
that?
often does Hades have children?
Once.
it was Lathan.
Once? He's had
Lathos was the
one
problem.
demigod child. Oh my god.
I remember.
See, I feel like if he was the reason for this, he would know who Persephone was. He could have told us.
I remember a band of adventurers, very powerful, live ones, who came down to the underworld under false pretenses. They were here seeking a treasure from Hades' trophy room. And they devised a particularly interesting way in. one of them disguised themselves as the goddess Persephone.
Oh,
Hubris.
oh no.
Through their skill and their deception, they made it all the way into Hades' palace. And they split up. While some of her companions went for the treasure, Hades came home and found his queen and took her to bed.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I can't.
It was only after this that he realized the deception, and he made
Why
them
is she
all
so-
pay. But
Does he as a god? He as a god would have true sight, right?
No.
well, that is what Persephone said. The true
Oh.
Persephone.
Would he
Hades
have
claimed
true
the
sight?
magic was powerful enough to block even his vision. Persephone did not necessarily believe that to be true. Nevertheless, those adventurers, besides the one that had impersonated Persephone, that's a tongue twister, they all ended up in Hades' personal dungeon.
What did he do with the lady?
Well, he sensed that the lady was carrying his child.
Immediately? God damn.
Godly
Gods, no.
seed is powerful. But he also knew that if Persephone were aware of this, both the mother and child would be erased. So, he lied to his queen, pretended that he had killed her, but in reality, he threw her up to the overworld, hid her from Persephone, and hid the baby as well. But the deception could only last so long, for Persephone found it odd that after some years, the skins of the other adventurers were hung from the walls of the palace, but not the girl. So in Persephone's summer months in the overworld, she began to search for that girl and that child. But she never found them. But their relationship was never the same. The trust had been broken. Olympus's most perfect couple.
I'm a romantic at heart, so like fully out of game. This makes me very upset.
Sure.
Because
Can
he
you
definitely
imagine?
knew. He definitely knew, and he just went with it because it was his only. Sorry, I'm really mad
What
at
if
Hades.
he's
like,
telling
out
the
of character
truth?
Can Persephone not have children? Or
She
have
came.
they just never...
They've
just
never
never
they've
had
never had
work
children.
for the
Yeah.
gods who are married. How does birth control work for the gods who are like couples? I'm very curious.
They have kids when they want to have kids.
So they can just be like, yeah, fine.
I'm a god. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So,
So
he
did Hades
definitely-
wanna
he
have a
is
kid
so
that time?
Powerful enough to have known. That's no.
Can you
He said
like?
he has
What
a
if you
rare
didn't know? Can
opportunity.
you imagine having sex with a god, hoping the disguise self holds up? Like that has to
Could
be
you?
nerve
I'm
wracking.
What
sorry.
if you
I
take
refuse.
damage?
Yeah.
Remember-
If you take damage, you're gonna lose it.
Who was that adventuring?
And this is the god of the dead, so like he has his
It
own
was
personal
it was
dungeon.
the
You might.
defenders.
I could go back in Lathos'
Sammy,
backstory and see what
is-
they were called, but I don't remember what they were called.
Is Hades into BDSM?
He has his own personal
it's
dungeon.
a different
so...
kind of dungeon.
Which, by the way, I will just say, if Lathos had stayed in this campaign, this entire thing that I just told you was in his backstory.
Damn.
Awesome.
He came up with this.
That's
Damn.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Um,
okay, out of character because it was
Wait,
in his
so-
backstory, and we can no longer like ask him about it. Like we can't ask RJ or the character like this. Did Hades know or did Hades not? Like out of character, did he know?
There's no way I can tell you
Can't
that.
know that.
No way I'm gonna
Can't
tell
know
you that.
I don't think it matters
That's
in
a,
the
No,
it
end.
that's
absolutely
RJ.
matters.
We're
Like,
here.
Persephone's- Persephone's not gonna believe it either way. I just like, as Anna, want to know how mad.
Well,
I
you
should
can
be
you can
Hades.
ask
I
Hades
feel
when you
like
save
you
it.
always ask Sammy this, and he always goes, "Absolutely not gonna tell you anything."
That's like a
He's just
huge
like,
plot
it's-
point.
It's literally yeah. It's
stuff
always like
that
really
doesn't-
big
I don't
thing.
know.
Because it's
It
not,
absolutely.
it's also not
If you
just
don't
it's
think
the
this
audience,
matters, then
too.
you have not been paying attention.
But like the thing is like I'm confused how it. I don't know how to explain what I mean.
So
Shout out to
a
RJ,
common
Gone
thread
But Not
in lots of
Forgotten.
Persephone and Hades stories is all about perception and misinterpretation. You know, did Hades steal Persephone away, or were they in love and they went down to the underworld?
Okay,
It's all.
that makes
it's
sense.
all.
Okay,
Who does who believe? You know.
that makes sense. I was thinking of it as like you were thinking we were going to use it to get Persephone to stop it. I'm like, she's not going to care.
No.
That's what I thought.
You can
meant.
assume
I
that
was like,
Hades
wait.
told her. I didn't realize it wasn't you.
That's what I thought you. But I was like, okay, that makes more sense now. I was like, why can't we know?
What if we just
So-
impersonated Persephone again?
No. She
No.
already
Have a-
hates us enough. We are not doing
You
Wow.
realize
I
Persephone's
thought
the
about
one that you're
Cerberus.
gonna be trying to pass.
We're talking about for Cerberus. Like if I just
Oh.
like posted many fashions and you guys disguise self, like, and you're just like, it's me, Persephone, haha, Cerberus, please.
All I can think of is just that scene in Fantasy High with Fig occasionally just randomly disguising himself as the people in front of her.
Yeah.
What if
Dead.
Persephone
He's been dead for
cast
weeks.
of Amontillado Hades?
What?
That's probably what.
There's
we're
so many
looking at.
references right now. I'm so
What
lost.
if Persephone cast of Amontillado Hades?
Okay,
I'm just trying to
so
do what we did that first time in Medusa's cave of Persephone.
I did
this
not
time.
Yeah.
hear what you said to start with, and I thought you said Balenciaga, so another reference, I could only think of Myrtle Snow at the stake in American Horror Story yelling Balenciaga as her
It's
last
Poe.
words.
We
It's
could
Poe,
always
you
turn
fools.
Cerberus to stone, and then free Hades, and he can release him from his stone prison because it doesn't kill him.
I know what you said is Poe, but I didn't hear that to start with.
And we're back to the story.
Okay,
Are we-
off to
Can
the
I-
dragon's
really?
back. Onto the dragon's back.
Rima goes, "Oh, is it time now?"
I was hoping-
I've been ready 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, let's.
I'm
let's
sorry.
Hey,
wrap
we
it up.
learned a lot about Persephone in the last 5 minutes, so you know what?
Also,
It's
I
true.
think part-
It's a good
lot of this-
question.
A lot of this conversation probably wasn't even in game. I think a lot of this was out of game.
That was a great question you asked. Rima
Or
goes,
was
"Oh yeah, go ahead, Alexios."
I'm assuming after you drop us off, there'd be no way to contact you after this.
Well, I will always be here. I recommend, if at all possible, if you need to make some sort of escape, this you should consider the safest possible place down here. And remember, if you wind up running out in the underworld, if the shepherds find you, they will bring you right back here. As long as it is only the shepherds who find you. But if anyone else finds you, they will bring you right to Persephone.
So, is just out of curiosity, let's say that when we all do eventually die someday, and we come back down here, you know, are we just gonna come back here? Are we gonna get judged again?
Who is to say? Leaving at this point would be considered impossible. But the fates seem to have a different plan for you.
Something I gotta point out real quick, now that we know more about the Hades Persephone backstory, is though, if Persephone came willingly, and Hades is so madly in love with his wife, isn't Cerberus gonna want to protect Persephone too?
That's why we should be Persephone. Boop, 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 boop.
It's just a thought that I feel like should be taken into account.
Okay, well, we're not trying to kill Persephone, because first of all, she's a goddess and we can't do that.
Yes,
We're just trying to
but-
free Hades. us
If
our
pers-
that is our winning bone over Cerberus. We're physically just trying to release Hades.
But if Cerberus listens to Persephone as much as Hades, because they're married,
But we all know that dogs have favorites. So we just gotta hope that it's Hades's.
Yes, the godless one has a point. You see, while Cerberus is
Sucked.
both the pet of Hades and Persephone, he is truly Hades' pet, much like
Okay.
Lazarus is Persephone's pet.
Okay,
Everyone
cool. That's what I
chooses
wanted to make sure.
sides.
I wanted
Wait,
to make sure that he
what's-
would choose Hades' side in this situation.
Is Honora really the godless one?
No, that was you.
She was talking
That's
about
why.
you.
I thought that was me. I was like, wait
Yeah.
a second.
She was talking
That's
about
why
you.
I said ouch. I said ouch when you said ouch.
You said outside. I was like, wait, was that not
Nope,
me?
that was on your behalf.
Was it him?
So I didn't mean like a way out. I more so meant, are you and the other ancient dragons in contact with each other?
When we need to be. Why?
I mean, I don't know if you all or any of you know this, but it's pretty fucking bad out there. Up there. It's Do you know that Tiamat has a whole cult of followers?
Do you know that winter has come again and Demeter has killed all the crops on the overworld?
What the? No.
Winter is coming.
Wait,
Damn it, Demeter.
is that something that always happens, or is that that's out of character?
That the
I mean,
crops die every
Or
winter,
is she, like,
winter always happens. Like crops die.
Yeah.
But you also know the story of the first winter, which was the time when Persephone was first taken down to the underworld and Demeter released a wave of necrotic energy that killed every single plant on Gaia.
Does Demeter like nature and necrotic?
Yeah, I mean that there are very few, but there are some people that worship Demeter as a goddess of death.
Oh, I would too. She's scary.
So I kind of get where you're going with that. You mean like Demeter's pissed, right?
Oh yes, now that the gods know Persephone is behind all of this.
But wait,
How did they? Oh yeah.
I thought that this was just
we're
her talking
handling
about-
that.
I think that that's also not just her saying like Demeter's pissed again. It's also saying that Tiamat's followers rise and fall, and cults rise and fall constantly. She's probably seen this before.
Oh, you think way too much into my words. I like you.
Oh.
You make me sound far more intelligent than I am. No, I literally mean Demeter has killed all the plants on the overworld.
Oh, the way you said it, it sounded like a metaphor.
Oh, everything I
Yes.
say is a metaphor, and everything I say is quite literally true.
I think you should give yourself more credit about being smart. I'm just saying.
Oh my
I
dear,
think it
I am
was
smarter than
more-
all of you combined, but I do try to be humble.
You just said that I gave you more credit than
I
was
doubt
due.
that.
I think you should take credit
I
where it's
cannot
due.
bear to listen to myself speak.
I'm so confused what's happening with her.
It's,
Can
I
we
get
go
it, it
before my
was
brain
like-
explodes?
we have more pressing matters, but like, you do know cuts can get like festered and stuff.
Wait a minute. Wait a
I
minute.
think we
wait a
have a
minute.
little more pressing matters than Tiamat
Wait,
right
wait,
now.
wait. How do you know all the crops died in the overworld?
As I said, when we need to. The original metallics have ways of contacting each other.
Do you know what's happening in the overworld as we speak? Like, send
Not
things back
right
and forth?
now in this moment.
Would you though?
Like, if we need to get a message to the gods or something?
Perhaps.
To the gods
But if
specifically. I just
Persephone
meant in
finds
general.
out that I'm spreading messages on your behalf, that would
Uh.
not make me very safe at all.
I mean, who says it's
I
on
thought. I was gonna say it doesn't have to be on our
So-
behalf. You could just say that you were trying to see what was happening in the overworld.
There are only 5 of us, original metallic dragons. One of us is dead. One of us is here in front of you, which leaves 3. Of those
Wait,
3,
what's
I do not
that?
know which often find themselves at the ear of the gods.
I more wasn't worried about
What's
getting message
that?
out to the gods. I was just wondering about like what's happening in the overworld in general.
She turns to Alexios. One of us was tasked with guarding a powerful ancient relic. As time went on, she decided to devote herself entirely to this endeavor. She became what is called a hollow dragon. A dragon that exists in a sort of undeath, a perpetual stasis, perpetually guarding the artifact for which she resides.
What artifact?
That is not my secret to tell.
Fair.
Probably one of the
Oh my god.
scales.
Wait, she's old AF. She might know things about, like, past times.
Yes, I was born
And I
during the
don't-
Divine War.
I meant more like the location of like Dragon's Doom and like the Baby of Stone, not like your old one.
We know where Dragon's
You
Doom
just
is.
called her old.
I meant wise, beyond my years. Clearly.
Good save. Good save.
You are as wise as you are beautiful, clearly.
Wow, laying it on thick now.
I like this one. Are you in search of a new god?
At this point.
I can be your god.
What are you offering though?
Power. Much like I offered your friend.
That's just
Say
nothing
friends or friend?
You know,
Friend.
Alexios.
And she curls a
Apollo
finger,
talk
and
about.
you see on Adagio these sort of copper scales begin to curl around the corners of his face.
Okay, but did they like look good with like my amber eyes?
They match perfectly.
Oh yeah, bet say less.
God. Apollo's gonna come back and
That's
just go,
literally
what did you
the
do?
only requirement. It's just style.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Apollo's
But
gonna come
RDS.
back and just be so disappointed in his son.
Okay, well, right now I'm kind of tied to Artemis, and I'm kind of hoping my dad will come back, even though Alexios didn't ask for me. But it's okay.
Well,
No.
This-
no.
You are a.
They basically said that the gods had a backup plan.
Yeah.
God,
if my
plural.
dad's coming back, it's safe to assume that your dad's coming back because he'll just make another egg or activate an egg or something like that.
What if the egg needs to be made while he's alive?
Then
And
your
most of
dad's
the eggs-
screwed. But
Most of the eggs were already made, were they not?
yeah.
Except for some
No,
random
okay.
13th silver weird looking one.
Yeah, but the one that would be Apollo's, I'm pretty sure, didn't Alexios, like, in his... When he talked to his father, it was made, right?
Oh, babe.
So yeah, you're good.
But
Might
look
I
how
ask
cool
one more thing? You are doing a great deal, and I am helping you in this endeavor. I think it is only fair that I can ask for a little something as payment.
Ooh.
If you should find yourself in Hades' trophy room, there is something that I gave many centuries ago that I would dearly want back.
What is it?
Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
Oh.
I'm scared.
Is it one of the scales? Please tell me the scale isn't here.
There's a scale here, we're screwed.
I do not know.
Leave
of
it
what you
there.
speak.
I'd leave it there. I don't say shoobs. Wait, but what if we never see you again?
What? Then get a
Can I
good
keep
look
it?
when you see me.
Oh. I'll start like sketching.
While we're
Why
on the
does
scale
every
thing,
creature we come across flirt with us?
Why not? Oh my god. This is an ancient dragon. Say less. The experience galore.
So Adagio is effectively now a donkey from Shrek.
Hey, but I get cool scales, not my children.
Did you
I mean, if
did
you're
you take
handing
her
out
offer?
powers-
The children got cool
Okay, wait.
scales.
Would
Wait,
that be
hold
like
on.
a click?
Alexios, what are you saying?
I'm gonna I'm gonna go to Remo. If you're handing out powers at this time and we have pressing matters, do believe you should at least look into having someone look into the other scales. People are really looking for them.
Oh, I know. That is chiefly what we do, me and my brethren. Besides maintaining our own hordes and pressing buttons when we want to, that sort of thing.
I love
We
her so
watch
much.
That's
Tiamat's followers and ensure that she can never rise again. In fact, back in Delphi, when you were dealing with that whole black scale nonsense, my soldiers were a few days behind you.
Oh, so we did good.
all I needed to know.
Is that scale safe in Delphi now? Like,
It is
But I-
relatively safe. Most of the people who knew that it was there are dead or gone. But
Oh.
Or us.
nothing is truly safe.
And do your
So would that
associates
be-
have names? Like a phone call, a bat signal?
The original Metallics.
No, you said your soldiers were a little bit behind.
Well, they are the ones who have accepted my gifts.
is that like a cleric bond or like a
Do
warlock
they have
bond?
like
Or
a
like a
Well, that depends. Do you like Eldritch Blast?
pew pew? Take that, region.
Say what? Say, Eldritch. What?
Maybe a single class in like warlock would just look really
I'll
pretty.
shoot
on
one up
my-
into the air.
my multi-class.
Eldritch, huh?
God damn! I really
But
just want
not
to shake.
all
this
of my
up.
people are warlocks. I have people who are good fighters as well. Good
about,
with their
like-
fists, good with a bow.
Oh, good at their hands, basically.
Oh god. I knew that was
I
coming.
accept all types.
I knew that was coming, and there was no way to stop you saying that.
Listen, I'm a barbarian cleric. I don't think I could add another title and have Sammy put it on stream.
You're gonna be
That's
like
just another
that font.
You're like, just do it in like the 3 format: cleric,
yeah,
barbarian.
there you go.
The text gets so small you can't read it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, are we getting going or what?
Please.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright. Well, I can't transform while you're looking. Turn around.
I'm like,
You've literally okay.
it's just like saying like this.
She
Adagio's,
clocks that you
like,
do that,
peeking over
and
his shoulder.
she doesn't care, and and she just begins to transform. You see, she like sexily pulls down one of her sleeves before she just transforms into a fucking dragon.
I wanted to look because I wanted to see like what it was like, not for the same reason Adagio was looking.
You don't know what I was looking. I was looking at your dad and the dragon.
You see this enormous copper dragon before you. Hop on.
Oh, your
Arnie
voice
does
changed.
look
That's
loose.
cool.
Gonna
All
hop
right.
on.
Yeah,
So
let's do this.
you all hop on, and you feel the wings. So as you fly high over the peaks, Ilmei, you note that you're flying away from the peak of the cone. So you are flying toward the wider part of the wedge. As you soar and soar, until eventually you see a relative plateau of mountaintop. And on it, what looks to be the ruins of what was at one point a grand temple that is now bits and pieces. Rirmu lands on the next peak over. Get off.
I have a question before you leave.
Yes.
You've been able to just like pop in and out of like the bubbles of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a thing only you can do, or if I like shove my hand through, can I just like bloop?
When you were soaring above, did you notice any sort of runes on the domes?
I saw open in Celestial.
Indeed. Those are aerial portals into the neighborhoods, only accessible by those who know the language and can say the words and reach that point.
So if I
They
scaled this wall?
If you scaled that wall, you would have to fly about 600 feet further up directly into the air. So, perhaps not.
Perhaps not. Perhaps, maybe
So
not.
if I was to wild shape into something and fly up there and then go back, I could do it.
If you wanted to get attacked by all of the Hopitas and Harpies.
Well, yeah, that notwithstanding, of course. But okay, thank you for the information.
Of course.
And these
So-
walls that surround the neighborhood, what are they made out of?
Stone. As well as ancient arcane magic made by the primordials themselves.
I thought
Oh.
you was going to say the souls of the damned.
I was gonna say bones. I was like, oh no.
It's actually
just wanna know-
stone and glue.
I just want to know if stone shape would create a doorway
It would
between
certainly help,
neighborhoods.
but I believe that the barriers between neighborhoods are built to withstand some sort of attack of a spell of that caliber.
Why everyone here is dead?
Now, over there, on that peak, you will find a statue of Hades. Underneath that statue is the entrance to the tunnels of Cerberus. It is up to you to figure out how to open that entrance. And beware,
But- Tunnels that you're not sure
I
exist.
believe that all of these entrances are guarded. So be prepared. Oh, and one final thing. If a loyal dog you wish to meet, best to offer a tasty treat. Good luck.
See, I
And
called
she
it. I said
dives
we need
off
to get
the
some
cliff.
bones.
I'm gonna
Some
nudge
large
Reach and be like,
bones.
looking tasty over there. Let's go.
Bro.
Jesus.
Offers Eugene as snacks.
So,
Well then.
Sea salt
Rear
flavored
moved
and
on.
everything.
What the fuck?
with the temple ahead of you and the entrance to the tunnels of Cerberus, we're gonna take our break there. So stick around. We will be right back after this. Go pee, have a little snack. We'll see you soon. Bye. And we're back. Welcome, welcome. So, let's hop right back into where we were. So, you guys have just been dropped off, like helicopter landing, on the peak of this mountain, and you are right across from a temple that has seen better days. What are you doing?
Well, I guess.
So
I mean,
we have to go to another peak to get to the temple.
I can show you if you'd like.
Or
Yeah.
will we have to? Because we could just grapple there.
grapple.
There is what looks like what used to be a bridge. That part of it has collapsed. And you see
That looks
on the
good.
other side this sort of central courtyard that does have what looks like a central statue of Hades, and it is guarded by one of those skeletal protectors, guards, that you saw on the bank of the Styx. Although it does seem like this one is maybe a little larger, a bit stronger. It has plate mail armor on. What are you guys doing?
Okay,
Well,
so
we can
we
sneak
have to.
past it, or
I don't think we can sneak past this thing.
So, well, we need to get to the statue that it's right in front of, correct?
Probably.
Probably. Okay. And that thing looks like it's probably not going to be all right with us being here, out of our zone.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
still you're in the Peaks of Fate still.
Oh, okay. Then, I don't know. We're in our zone, so maybe we should just approach it, see what happens.
Wait, was it a
We can
shepherd?
avoid a fight. Let's avoid a fight.
No, it's not a shepherd. It's one of the skeletal guards that's guarding the river Styx.
Although
Okay.
it might try to kill us if we touch the statue, or
Yeah, I have
So-
a feeling it's gonna stop us.
Should we attack it from this
So
point
do
then?
we just strike it early?
Apart? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I mean, I
Can
feel like we
either-
should probably get across this little gap. Is it close and like how far down does this little chasm go?
You're on the top of a peak right now, so you're not quite sure, but it looks like a solid distance.
And how big of a jump is it?
So 5, 10, 15, 20 feet would get you on some broken bridge. 25 feet would get you on solid bridge.
How does
Okay.
jumping across work?
It's based on your strength score.
Okay, bet. How about throwing characters across?
That would also be strength based.
Okay, bet.
I'm just gonna pull out my grappling hook and shoot at the base of the crumbly bits,
Okay.
like so it shoots across.
Well, so if this doesn't work, I can wild shape into a large creature and carry
I'm
people
trying to
across.
save your wild shapes here.
Yeah, I was figuring as much.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm saying if this doesn't work, we got one.
Should I try jumping across so I can just grab the rope instead?
Because I just need.
So if
I
it
can
jumps,
just
it'd
shoot
be
it.
good.
Oh no, you're shooting it across. Wait a minute, no.
Just let me shoot it. I'm gonna shoot.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
I always forget. Wild shapes are a short rest, not a long rest.
Correct.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
Well, that was a 12.
12. Luckily, you're not aiming terribly far, and it is a non-moving piece of stone. So you do hit it, but you do think that the impact may have potentially weakened it a little more, so you're not sure how much weight it can hold.
Well, yeah, man, why don't you go ahead and swing over and try it out?
Don't tell the person who's already got a lowered Constitution modifier. You do
I'm
it.
just
You
gonna-
can take.
I'm not touching my
alright.
rope. I can jump across far enough. I can make it over this stupid. Hey.
Then go across and hold the rope.
That's what I said. That's what
Okay, then jump.
Then do it.
Do it.
I do it. I don't need y'all. How does this work, Sammy?
Why is this always what happens?
So, what is your strength score?
If he stops
Currently
dying.
it's a +3, but I can.
No,
add to
your
it.
your actual score,
Oh,
not
it's
your
okay.
modifier.
Okay, so I have a 15. No, 16. I have a 16.
16? Okay. So you can comfortably jump 16 feet.
And with my little, what is that? My little thingy? Boop, 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 boop. My little, the Aries one that adds to my strength. It adds 2, so if it was 18, I could comfortably jump 18 feet.
Correct.
So the Olympics
Something
started
yeah.
with the Greeks. Why aren't you in the Olympics?
Because there's other people with a higher strength score.
Other people are kicking my ass. What if I was raging? Could I go farther if I was raging? Raging, come over here and Eldritch blast me. I don't have time.
but you can go a little bit farther if you get a running start, which
Okay, bet.
you I assume that you would.
Yeah, I'm gonna activate the stone. So just gonna flick it up in the air so my base is 18, and then I'll running start.
Lord.
All right. So you can get just shy of 20 feet, but I'm gonna say to see if you can get all the way there to that 20 feet. Go ahead and just make a base strength check.
Woohoo.
While
So is that
Adagio
adding
was
my little
mid-air,
+4?
can I Eldritch Blast to knock him that extra, like, 2?
That's
Just kidding, I don't want to do that,
20.
actually.
23. God damn you.
23, yeah. So you do manage to make it that 20 feet. You jump, you land on the bridge, you can feel it sort of crumbling a bit underneath you, and you just quickly take a few more steps to get on more solid ground. But you are safely on the other side.
What is
So-
your strength with those gauntlets? Oh no, it's your base one, isn't it? Okay, whatever.
My
I'm gonna-
base with the gauntlets is 19.
Oh my god.
I
You
could
could
make
also
it, like-
jump and help us out.
I can
Yeah.
catch you on this
I
side.
think I will, yeah. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right, what's your strength score?
19.
19. Okay.
And could I be on the other side trying to catch him?
Yeah, you can
It's
help.
higher than my wisdom score, and that's my casting modifier.
All right, so to see if you can get that extra foot, go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Just a straight strength roll?
Yeah.
A 14.
14. Luckily, with Adagio being on the other side to try to help you, you get to that side and you land basically exactly where Adagio did, but it has already been partially weakened from Adagio landing there. So you quickly find yourself losing balance, but Adagio grabs your arm and pulls you to safety.
Yay.
Nice catch.
I'd say
Okay, now tether the rope somewhere.
so. Okay. Can I, should I tie it to the other post over here or
We
hold
could
it?
literally both just hold it. we'll just hold
Okay,
it.
well, I'll tie it around Ryujin and hold Ryujin.
Okay.
The Titanic,
Said
like the
I will hold the
Titanic.
rope, I guess.
All right, so with that being said, let's say who's going next?
I will. I'll just let go and start shimmying up this rope.
Okay. I need Ryujin to make a strength check with advantage because Adagio's helping you.
Not great. I might still do it though. A total of 16.
16. Okay. Ilmei is not terribly heavy, which is good because that's not a terribly great roll. So, Ilmei, you sort of like Tarzan just like let yourself fall and you let the rope catch your weight, and there is a moment where Ryujin like is pulled forward, and if Adagio weren't holding on to him, Ryujin would be falling down with you. But luckily Adagio has his hands tightly around Ryujin and you manage to stabilize, but they definitely can't pull you up, so you do have to come up yourself. It's a little tough. And as you first grab onto the bridge, the first piece of stone that you grab tumbles away, and you just look down as it tumbles and hits the cliff and hits the cliff and hits the cliff. And you have no idea when it lands, but you're like, okay, all right. And you manage to get a bit more of a sturdy piece and climb your way up to the other side.
Okay, so the next person that's gonna do that, let's actually tether this.
We got it. It's fine.
I am the lightest person here. And
You
you
still
have
have,
most
you still have
fellow-
Alexios in that heavy-ass armor.
We didn't
I
almost.
say,
what do you mean?
how
We
much
almost
do you
went.
weigh? How
That's
much is your
fine.
total weight?
No.
It's like that scene in the what is it? Hangover. He's like, but did you die?
But did you die?
But did you die?
I don't know, I'm carrying like 144.88 pounds.
Listen, if you're
I'm
so
only
concerned,
carrying my
don't
body.
pull the rope.
I'm only
okay?
carrying 91 pounds.
This will be a-
Because I
it'll be
can't
breeze.
go much up. I can't go much up from that, or I become encumbered.
All right. Who's next? This will be a cakewalk. We got it.
I'm gonna yell across, tether the rope!
So what?
Yes.
The broken bridge?
I'm gonna
tether it!
I'm gonna look around. Is there any place that I could wedge this arrow in?
An arrow?
You see sort of where the bridge meets the rest of the cliff, there are these stone pillars that sort of like mark the beginning of the bridge that seem a bit more stable.
Okay, then I'm gonna kind of tie a loop with it as best I can,
How does this work?
and
Didn't you
hopefully
jump off
it's tight enough.
and swing?
I
Are we
go.
throwing the rope back?
Ilmei, go ahead and make a dexterity check. Just a straight
Okay.
dex.
If it only jumped off and swung, then how do we have the rope on our side?
Oh, throw it back. Oh well. Oh, okay. So I'll tie it without the arrow, and I'll shoot it back to you guys. There we go.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Where are you aiming?
18.
It's like in the distance, or
18. Okay, so you wrap it around
Aim at
a
me!
few times. You know you can't wrap it around too many times, or else you won't have the length that you need. So with the amount that you feel comfortable wrapping, you tie a fairly solid knot. That being said, you still are keeping a close eye on it, just in case something comes unraveled. You'll be able to grab it quickly.
Okay.
I'm imagining Ilme like leaving like 19 feet of rope and it just like not making it.
And then I'll shoot at the base on the other side again.
Okay. Go ahead and make another attack roll.
19.
19.
like
It just sticks.
There you go. Next person.
Still holding it just in
I'll go.
case.
Yeah, go,
And
because
then
if something goes
I'll
wrong,
have
I'll need the most help.
I'll have a hold of the rope too to help support it. So if
I
it
think
does
it's type
not
of-
collapse,
Okay.
grip strength.
So who's next? Ryujin?
Okay.
Ryujin.
You're
Alexios?
already across.
Yeah.
Oh, right, no. Yeah, not Ryujin. Alexios.
I mean, I can go back if you.
All right. Alexios, what's your strength score?
Not high. It's probably like an 11 or something.
Your strength?
Your strength is higher than mine.
Nah, yeah, I have a low strength. It is as soon as the second half of my brain goes, just, 12. 12.
Yours
I
is
have
Okay.
a low
at least
strength.
higher
So
than
you
mine.
are grateful that the rope exists. You get a running start and you leap and you catch that rope and you're like, thank God this rope is here, because you do not make it across that barrier and you goof, hit the cliff as you're attached to this rope. You struggle your way up. Luckily, your friends are on the other side and are able to pull you to safety.
Aha.
And rinse and repeat, shoot again.
All right. Another attack roll.
Oh god. That's not a very good one.
I'd like to equip my
14.
shield.
14.
Equipping my
Okay.
shield of missile attraction.
All right. It fires in and seems to like it's like not very stable. It's about to fall off.
Can I stabilize it on my side before I go?
Sure.
Grab it and then leap.
Yeah.
You swing with them.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Never mind. I was thinking like rope bridging it across. Never mind.
Just walking the
Don't know what I'm
tightrope.
thinking.
I guess we definitely
Yeah.
could have.
Like lining.
All right, Anura, what's your strength score?
11.
Okay. So you take this rope and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Can
And
I just
you
like
leap
look up
off.
and as I go, look at Ryujin and go, never let go, Ryujin.
I let go.
For the hell of it, because your strength score is so low, go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Oh
no,
no.
Sammy, no.
Are there ever times where you do things like this and you're like, what are they gonna do to get across this bridge?
Yeah.
Ever times where you make a check
I rolled
like
a
this?
3. I can't
Alice
even
make a
add
check
to
like
that.
this, and you're just like, you know what? If they just fucking die?
I'm on woe for the day. I can't add.
Okay, so Anura, you leap, and you're like, just you know that you're gonna get a bit of whiplash because you know you're not gonna make it across, and you're gonna ram yourself into this cliff. So you do feel the rope pull, and you begin to like make that trajectory into the cliff. Ilme, you catch as that happens, that initial pull, that the rope begins to unwind from the pillar, and you're like. You grab the rope, you can feel some of it slipping through your fingers, you're getting rope burn, but you're trying to get a hold.
I also have the rope in my
Help
hands.
me!
Yes, I need
Yeah, Ryujin has the rope in his hands.
Ilme and Ryujin to both make strength checks.
Oh god, my strength is not good.
Also, you said the whiplash thing, Sammy. The whiplash from me stopping when I fell to the ground hovering is what killed me last time.
That's true.
Well, I rolled a 4. Well,
A real
total 4.
Okay.
I rolled a 6 for a total of 10.
I love that for us. Is it too
So-
late for me to like react and grab it?
I can wild shape if I start falling.
Here's the good news. The good news is they do end up
We're
catching
so
it.
useless.
They do end up catching it, but it's at the absolute end, and both Ilme and Ryujin take a 1 point of fire damage each just from the rope burn of the rope just going through their hands until they finally catch it. And because they're catching it all the way at the end, Ryujin is like Ilme is bumping into Ryujin, and they're like almost toppling over as they try to catch the last
There
bit
were
of this
two
rope.
other people over there. What are y'all doing?
Not holding the
Panicking.
rope, clearly.
Did I
Okay.
take any damage from like whiplashing and falling down farther?
No, I mean like you didn't
Definitely.
intact anything. You just like are
Okay.
hanging far lower than any of the other people ever
Oh,
hung.
wait, this was the
Then I
rope that
have
we
this-
tethered, right?
Yes.
Just tie it around
A
your
lot
wrist.
of
and
good
pull
that
it away.
fucking did us, huh?
So Anura, go ahead and make a strength or a dex check to see how well or how long it takes you to climb up.
Not much better.
Takes an hour.
Oh my
Rolling
god.
that one.
My god. Could I just yank them up? Yank.
After a bit of time, Adagio, you do realize that maybe this would go a little faster because they are not making much progress. They definitely skipped that day of gym class. So you're like, all right.
God.
So you start helping and pulling them up, and eventually, all of you do end up on the other side of this bridge.
Listen, normally when I climb, I turn into a spider, but I'm trying to save that.
I was trying to save my rages. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have
That's
a rage
an
just to
art
drag
prompt
you up
somewhere.
here.
That's a clip that got clipped to be an art prompt somewhere. Is Spider and Nora, so.
Okay, so I think game plan, we sneak up on this thing and surprise it and go from there.
A present from where?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
You said it's wearing
first
plate
of
mail,
all-
right, Sammy?
It is wearing plate mail, yes.
And it's just like a skeleton with
Yeah.
plate mail.
It is
Okay,
like
well, I mean,
yes.
I
I
can
tried
sneak
the
up
thing
on
that I
it. I
know.
could turn invisible. So
just cast heat metal. If it's in plate mail, it takes it 5 minutes to get it off.
Yeah.
And it
Fair.
can't say.
I sent you that, didn't I?
You did.
I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yep, you sent me that. It can't save against it. It just has to keep going.
Okay, so do we want to go? What if
Wait.
this thing is what opens it?
Okay, Sammy, how much larger? Just like extremely large person, or like small giant, or like
It looks to be probably some sort of mix, like almost a Goliath.
how large would you say the femur is?
Larger
Oh.
than your femur. It's a
we
large
give it to
creature. It's a large
Cerberus?
creature. So its entire
tell us.
width is about 10 feet.
Oh.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
So we
We're
could
taking
give it to
some
Cerberus.
bones. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's just surprise attack this bitch.
Uh,
then I'm gonna turn invisible, and you guys go with me.
I'm gonna cast
Sneak up
Pass
on
Without a
this
Trace
thing?
and try and sneak up on it and attack stealthily.
Whoop.
Sounds like a plan.
yeah, sounds good.
Ilme, with your passive perception, you would also hear. So, like, this creature is not moving at all. And it is extremely silent here. But now that you're a little closer, you can hear some other sound. Sort of snarl.
Oh no.
If it is,
I think Cerberus might be here.
but if it is Cerberus and we attack this thing, then he might think we're an enemy.
Yeah, so let's not attack this thing.
Do we have anything to give to Cerberus?
Can we? I don't know. I don't think I do.
I mean, if we kill this thing, we'll have a bone for him.
Yeah,
But
but Cerberus
Cerberus
might take that as
where?
bad. Yeah. Can we? Okay. Can I try and talk to Cerberus? Or y'all gonna? And I tried that myself. Can I try and talk to Cerberus?
Wait, did we see Cerberus? I missed something.
We-
Somebody hears him.
I hear
Snarling?
snarling.
But we don't know if it's Cerberus or not.
Correct.
No.
Wait. Hey.
Could be
I'm just
any
saying.
of his children.
Alexios, you can cast enlarge and reduce, right?
Yeah.
I have rations on me. That includes jerky. Can we cast enlarge on the jerky and give that to Cerberus?
Doesn't that just make it one size larger?
I don't think that'll happen like that. I don't. Well, we do shrink things and put it inside bags. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Can we do that?
See, the thing is, a whole bunch of different fantasies are popping into my head in like equivalent exchange. I don't know if eating enlarged jerky would feed you more than just like regular, but we try it.
Sammy, how would that work if we cast enlarge on jerky?
You never tried it.
I didn't know if like food was an established thing in the spell or not because I can't see the spell.
What are the specifics of the spell? I thought it was just
Yeah.
increases one size. Like if something's medium,
Yeah.
it makes it a large. If something's large, it makes it what? Huge.
I mean,
So does that
You have a
mean
small
I'll
piece
only
of
be able
jerky,
to
like,
cast
make it,
it
like-
on one piece of jerky?
a medium piece of jerky would still be pretty big, right?
Was it
But-
a small size or would
So-
it count as tiny?
If it's the size of
a
medium,
standard
like
piece
a
of jerky
normal
would be
person,
considered tiny.
Oh, so then we would make it small. So what is small?
Small's
Take
about
up as far
2.5
space.
feet.
That's a big piece of jerky.
How big is Cerberus?
You have no idea. You assume big as hell.
Much bigger than 2.5 feet.
Yeah, but like you're giving it to one of the mouths.
One mouth.
So it's a big piece of jerky for the mouth of something.
But what if he eats it, right?
Can't you
And
just
then,
long
like,
rest and create food or something?
It
I say-
disappears. Or
Me?
Should
I mean, I could.
I think we
If
should
we want
approach
to take
the
a long rest
skeleton.
and I can change that spell over.
The skeleton attacks us. We lure it away a little bit. Maybe, give it the good old 1-2. Take a femur. Take all
How many
of them.
times can you cast enlarge?
Oh, 3 times.
That's 3 times, 3 pieces of jerky for the 3 heads.
That's also like all of his magic.
Okay, just backpedal a little bit. It said that Cerberus would use the statues to travel and do what?
What is all of your passive stealth?
I
don't
said
know
we
what that
cast
is.
pass without a trace.
What is
So
that
so
mean?
that would be as if you rolled a 10 on a stealth check, and then you did cast pass without a trace, so plus 10 to whatever that would also be.
How do you check your pass?
That's 21.
Again, as if you rolled a 10 on a stealth check,
Okay.
and then an additional 10 because of pass without a trace.
So as if you had a 20 plus your plus.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's 21.
33.
Oh my
So it
god.
would be 10 plus whatever my stealth skill is plus
Another
10.
10.
10, so 22. I
Mm,
was very confused.
Same, 22.
23.
Mine was 33.
Okay.
We are very quiet individuals.
Stealth.
Wait, actually,
Yeah,
I have the
I tried
cloak.
to choose.
Hold on. I lied. Give me 1 second.
Well, cloak
I
just
thought it
gives
just-
you advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
pass.
Yeah, but
Don't
you
go
guys
pass.
aren't actively stealthing right now. It's just a passive
Yeah.
stealth.
Yes. Okay.
So you hear one of these snarls.
I don't know.
And you see a creature pop out of one of these ruins.
Dag nabbit.
A small, about like normal dog-sized hound.
Oh.
Black
Oh, it's just a
fur,
hellhound.
long claws,
I don't think saying just a hellhound is a good way to go.
bright red eyes, and you can see from inside its open mouth a light orange glow. Is it- And then you hear
I'm
other
turning
snarls
invisible.
as you see other hounds join it and seem to catch on to whatever it is
Oh.
that the hound is smelling.
Sammy, is there a roof on top of some of these ruins or no?
No, there's no roof.
No roof? Okay. Cool beans.
There, it
Oh.
plants a tree. It climbs it.
Yeah, I'd like to use my action to plant another tree.
And cast Druidcraft. Okay,
We're like
I
Jack
don't
and
know how
the Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah. I don't actually know how Druid Grove works, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay, these things are smelling us, so we need to do something. So it looks like they're little hellhounds. Are we still game plan attacking the skeleton?
Sammy, I have a question.
Yeah.
As far as Grove goes, if I was to cast it and the constant gust of wind and the wind wall, would that mess with the sense of smell?
Let me look up the spell.
Because it says for additional
we-
spell effects, you can place your choice of one of the following magical effects within the warded area. One is a constant gust of wind in 2 locations of your choice, and one of the other ones is wind wall in 2 locations of your choice.
Yeah. It might have some sort of advantage.
Okay, I can also cast within that grasping growth, which means that any of the area that I don't fill with the fog can have grasping weeds and vines.
Does there need to be existing plant life?
No, it just says you can fill any number of 5-foot squares on the ground that aren't filled with fog with grasping weeds and vines.
Great.
So are we doing something as a group, like
So it's up
moving,
to
or are we
y'all.
like splitting? I think we should see how many of these wolves there are, or hellhounds, before we engage. Personally, that
we
being
attacking
said,
the
they're
hellhound?
gonna sniff us out, maybe. So should we like try to get to some high ground? Obi-Wan Kenobi this bit, or what do you think?
It's up to y'all. I was just saying with like Druid Grove, I can cast something that might throw them off our scent, but it is up to y'all.
Okay.
I have a question for the DM.
Yeah.
Wait.
Would I be able to roll something to see if I know of like the dogs, like what they are, or specifically if they have like if I know about them, or if they have like fire resistance? that like
Go
allowed?
ahead and make a history check. Because this is all about if you've read about these things before.
I think I'm good at history.
Since
It's
they are
intelligence
like
based.
sniffing us out, can I try and like calm them down? I don't know. Are they kind of like Cerberus, like loyal to Hades kind of thing?
You have no idea.
I don't know. Can I try and calm them down? I don't know.
What do you want to do?
Like how? Like I don't know specifically because like I guess we never really talked about like a backstory thing, but like in the woods, like if I was to come across something, I'd be able to like kind of talk to it and calm it down, kind of thing, maybe.
But they
Is that
don't
something
even
that-
know if we're here for sure. They haven't found us.
I'm saying
yet.
if they start.
I mean,
finding
that's
us,
up to you. If you want to like try to feed them or cast some sort of spell to communicate with them, like that's totally up to you. But
I have a
That's up to
spell
you.
that I can put below them that may be able to cause some damage and make the difficult terrain as like a group thing.
Causing
Um,
damage might not be the best thing, though. Also, I didn't prepare all
Well,
my
they're going to
spells.
cause damage to us,
wrong?
so we should figure out what we are going to do, probably.
So I made the roll into a 28.
a 28.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, man,
You
what?
have spent a lot of time researching creatures with connections to fire. You know that not only are hellhounds typically immune to fire, but they also have a fire breath attack.
Well, shit.
I can
I have a
cast
weapon.
speak with
Oh,
animals.
you're periodically moving them,
work?
Timmy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All I know is that
Um,
right now we're about to be cornered right here,
Yeah, I'm.
and I'm not about to be backed into a corner.
Okay, so
Either I'm casting this spell or we're deciding to do something.
Okay, everyone start moving back away from them instead of backing into the corner, and I'm going to cast speak with animals.
You can't.
Okay,
back
so
away
just so
from
you know,
that.
you guys are currently on a bridge to nowhere. So what do you do?
Okay. I'm
moving
I
pulling.
can't
forward.
see it.
Okay, so I'm invisible and I am moving over here. Stealthily.
And I have my boots of elfin kind, and I'm gonna try to make it this way.
Everybody make a stealth check.
Pass without a
Oh.
straight trace is still going.
Oh,
Only if
yes.
you're within the radius of Anura.
How far is that radius?
Is
Yeah.
Enora moving?
I can't get Owlbear to load currently. So.
Are you moving?
Yeah, I can't load out there. Hold on.
Pass without a trace has a radius of
30
30
feet.
feet.
Okay, well, still within 30 feet, I think so.
Sorry,
So what do you
Owlbear
do
is
for that? You
trying
just
to
add 10? with pass without
You
a
add
trace?
10 if you're within that radius, yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, cool. And I get
I'll
it.
this way to right here, so everybody's within the radius.
So I got a 27 for stealth.
Concentration? Aw, crap.
And I'm going to move.
26.
27, 26?
42.
Fuck you,
God
okay.
damn.
Sammy, I can still cast Speak with Animals since it's not another concentration spell, right?
Yeah, you can only have one concentration spell up at a time.
Okay,
I am
that's what
also holding a
okay,
spell.
make sure.
If they rush us or if this doesn't work, what Honora's trying to do, I'm casting a spell. So I'm holding that right now.
Okay, so
Okay.
40 quadrillion,
I got
24,
it.
22.
I have yet
I got
to
a
roll because I
20.
was trying to get out of it. I'm sorry.
There's a
What?
26 and 27.
Alexius, what'd you get?
29.
29.
God.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, let's see what we get.
That's it?
I
You
mean,
just got
I'm
a
going to be
20?
trying to talk to them anyway, so.
Okay. They all... They seem to turn around a couple times. And this third one seems to take a few steps closer toward Alexios.
Okay. Can I
Say the
take
word.
the jerky, a piece of jerky out of my rations?
Sure.
And get about right here, so if it was to look over, it'd be see me before Alexios.
Okay.
And that way, if something does happen, Alexios is kind of there to help me if I get,
I will
wrecked,
say,
but he'll help.
there's not... You guys are sort of out in the open right now, so he'll probably see both of you at the same time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stay about right here, so I'm not, like, disturbing the skeleton dude either.
Sure.
And I want to take out a piece of jerky from my bag and look to the hellhound and go, here, I've got it. I've got food for you. We're trying to go
You see
rescue.
it bares its teeth as it
Hades.
notices that you're here.
We're trying to rescue Hades. We're friends. I promise you, we're friends. We're not going to hurt you, see? And I'm going to slowly put the jerky down between the two of us.
Are you casting Speak with Animals?
Yeah, I already cast it.
Okay, okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage because
yes!
of your berry.
Berry.
Oh, crap. This is on an angle right now. I got to find a different way to roll. Crap. Ooh. Ooh. Second one was an actual 20.
All right.
I can't add to it anyway, so.
It eats the jerky, looks up at you, and you hear in your head, more.
I'll go ahead and pull out the other jerky in there and look towards Alexios real quick and be like, enlarge this.
If you're a vegetarian, why do you have jerky on you?
It's just the rations that I had that I bought.
Fair.
I just bought rations. I didn't specify what they were.
But would Honora in-game have specified what they were?
I mean, Honora is also the one who, like, randomly gives y'all good berry whenever you don't think about the fact that you have rations. So I'm pretty sure Honora just has stuff to make sure you stay fed and don't die.
Perhaps.
So yeah, I guess I'll take out some more jerky and throw it to him. But, like, not aggressively, like, throw it to the ground to him, so it's his choice.
The
Just chuck it
other
at his head.
hounds begin to descend upon the meat.
Do we
You
feel
see-
hungry in the underworld?
You see one of them, like, breathes fire onto it, charring it even more, and it's like starts chomping on it, and they devour them. And they all turn and look up at you. More.
I don't know if I don't know how much like I've given them at this point. Like I don't know how much is included with each ration.
I'd say you could give them like what you just gave them is probably maybe 2 rations worth.
Okay, and then I've got I think 2 more rations after that because I got the extras.
So my question is, are these like insatiable beasts? Like,
They're glowing red eyes. There's something unnatural about them.
so what happens when we
Does it
run
seem
out of
like?
jerky?
Can I look to them and be like and ask if like I don't want to ask how much more they want, but can I go ahead and throw another 2 pieces out?
Gone before they even hit the ground.
So I'm gonna like hold my hands up where I'm looking not like a threat and just stay calm and look towards them. We have to go rescue Hades. But as soon as we do that, I will find more meat and bring it back to you. I promise.
More meat already here. No care about Hades. Meat.
Do you care about Cerberus?
Meat.
I'll look back to Alexios and take out, I guess, like probably what's going to be like the last little bit of meat I have, right?
Yeah.
Can I look back to him and be like, can you enlarge this, please?
I'm still holding my spell. If they charge, if they jump at anybody, let you go.
I'm gonna enlarge it. I'm gonna also ready a pistol or put my hand on my pistol.
Okay.
Opposite hand.
Go ahead and make
Yeah.
a sleight of hand check.
Good. 21.
Okay.
I'm also pulling out my crossbow, but I am also invisible. So
You have to stress that, like, I am unseen.
Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage on me. Or a sleight of hand check.
sleight of hand
With
with
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're giving the rogue advantage on
Yeah,
sleight of hand.
36. 36.
No, it's not that high.
28.
I don't remember what sleight of hand
25 or
is.
26.
30.
30.
God. It's not that high.
It wasn't a 36.
As
Oh my-
Alexios, as you enlarge the jerky, they like instinctually take a few steps back at the sudden change to magic.
Can I
Some
take
of
it
them
as
almost like
soon as-
the back of the hairs on the back of their neck. But then they can smell this larger jerky as it's thrown
Can I take
before
it?
them. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can I take it and tear it into like a couple of different pieces? So, like they're still pretty big pieces, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then throw it back behind them a little bit into 3 different areas.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check with advantage.
Oh god. I'm so glad I had advantage. That is a 19.
19. So, 1 chases the piece over here. 2 chase one that gets all the way back into this little building ruin. And a 3rd chases one past the statue. And they seem to be chowing down.
All right. I want to look back to everyone. While they are distracted, we have to get past the skeleton. Come on.
Kind of a high hope. We don't know what to do here.
This is the best shot without attacking something that Cerberus would probably consider his friends.
Do you have
or
any?
possible mates?
They don't
Do you have to take magic or
What?
anything?
These are normal size. What the?
Did they not? Did Sammy not say that hellhounds were?
I mean, they're larger, but isn't Cerberus like huge?
Yeah, they're probably
I mean,
like
I said that
smaller than
hellhounds
some
are like some like offspring of Cerberus. That Cerberus sort of from Cerberus
Yeah,
came a lot of different
okay.
sort of hound entities.
Okay, so he would consider these children. We probably don't want to attack them if we need him to trust us.
Hey, fuck them kids.
Oh my god.
There's probably no way in hell
Okay.
we're gonna get into that or into whatever that is without killing at least one of them.
You
Can
can
I
always knock him out non-lethally.
Okay, I mean,
do I
I
see
guess
a
yeah.
way
Let's
into
approach the statue because I mean,
You see, Anora, you see no like entrance to a tunnel whatsoever. It looks like a statue of Hades. With you do see Hades is sort of his face is downturned and his arms are outstretched. His elbows are at his sides, but his arms are at like a 90-degree angle, as if you could sort of read it a couple different ways. You could see that it's almost like a welcoming gesture, but it also could be like a give me an offering gesture.
would stone shape be able to like go through to where it would be at? Like the tunnels would be at where we know the tunnels would be?
You have no idea how deep this goes or what. You could certainly try it.
The other thing was is I can summon an elemental and just summon a Zorn and let it go down there and we can just follow it. As if I approach slowly, what does the skeleton do?
Doesn't move.
Okay. Can I take out 2 drachmae and put them in the hands of the statue?
Clink. They just sit there.
Oh, great. I was thinking maybe it was a... Now that I'm closer, do I see a way that we could open something maybe? Or do I see like maybe where the hellhounds came out of, like tracks or something maybe?
Nope.
what would you offer the god of the underworld?
Riches, that's what he
so-
likes.
Diamond.
I do have diamonds.
The corpse of his hell.
I have 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds for Revivify that I can't use.
But we could use later.
I mean, I could also just split them up and do 100 of them for this and keep 200 for Greater Restoration.
I have diamonds from that initial cave we first explored.
So can I take 100 gold pieces worth of diamonds and put them in his hand?
Okay. They sit there.
God bless it.
Maybe we should ask Hades to open it for us. Like, should we like pray to him?
I'll approach still invisible, and tell me if this is like an action or if I stay invisible. If I like slice my hand and drop some blood into the palms.
It is technically an attack, but
Tell one of us to do it if you're invisible.
yeah.
I want to stay.
I'll do it real quick. I'll take one of the mini daggers I have for some god knows reason and slice my palm for a few drops of blood.
It drips onto the statue and it drips off the fingers. No effect.
Hades, I don't know if you can hear me in this thing, but we're trying to save you. Show us the way. Show us the way.
No effect.
Show the way.
Hey, it said that if we talk to it, it goes straight into his ears. So you know what? We might as well try.
Now Hades Town is stuck in my head again.
Okay, describe the statue one more time.
So it's a statue of Hades. He's wearing a cloak. His head is slightly downturned, and his elbows, his arms are at his sides, but his hands are up 90 degrees, as if he could be welcoming you, or he could be hands out, waiting for an offering.
Can I go like
Can
this? And, like,
And
push his hands down?
as you spend a little bit of time looking at this statue, you also see around his feet there looks to be a little tiny miniaturized 3-headed dog like curled around his feet.
Aw. Can I pet the dog?
Nothing happens, but yes, you can.
Oh.
Around where the dog statue is, does it look like there's something that could like open maybe?
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'd like to investigate the skeleton now, see if there's anything odd about it. Maybe like there's something on it that would be placed into the hands of the statue.
Okay, how are you? So this could be a cognizant being. How are you going to investigate it?
Just like, I don't know, just kind of trying to look at it without like
Without like touching it. and
touching
stuff?
it. Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check for that.
Mine was an 18 for the investigation check.
18. You don't see anything that strikes you as out of the ordinary.
That is not good. A 10.
Where is Hades looking specifically?
At his hands. Ryujin, it looks like a skeleton wearing armor, and he looks intense. And you get the sense, even though he hasn't moved, he is fully aware that you guys are here.
Can I put my hands on the statue where I put the diamonds? Because like it looks like he could be welcoming us and
Yeah,
do-
like essentially. Here, I'll show you. He's standing like this.
where
Right.
he's like the way he's welcoming us. Is there a way that we can like take his hand almost and ask for passage or something? Maybe.
Sure. Give that a go.
It kind of looks like he would be holding a large femur, if I'm being honest.
I'm dead. So Cerberus just comes along and like rips apart this dude and puts the seamer on him every time.
Precisely. There's
So
no
like
other
we could,
explanation.
theory, talk to the thing, the skeleton.
I think we're the only ones who've been sent here.
Can we ask the skeleton what to do?
You
Y'all
can do
okay
whatever you
with
want to
that?
do. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look to the rest of the party. Can I try and ask the skeleton?
Do it.
Just don't fucking touch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just not touch the skeleton, but I'm going to like look to the skeleton and very politely ask, "Hey, is there any way we can get into the tunnels to help Hades?"
You see this skeleton slowly turn its head towards you.
God.
Oh shit.
Get into the tunnels. You wish to get into the tunnels.
Yes.
That is off limits.
Even if it's to help the dude who made the tunnels?
The underworld belongs to Persephone.
Oh crap.
Shut.
Well, then maybe we should kill him. Just to,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we
at this
gotta
point,
kill
he's
him
gonna
now. I don't
send
think
the
there's
word back to
anything we can do.
Persephone.
Still invisible. I take my rapier out and stab the skeleton.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I'm gonna fire guiding.
Everyone,
Bolt
go
at him.
ahead and roll initiative.
Shut.
Oh, I didn't even get a chance for a surprise. Oh no!
Oh, that's a fucking big one. Natural 20.
Hold on.
That's not bad, I guess.
Why has Persephone managed to get everybody on her side?
She's the queen. What do you mean?
But like,
She probably
no
wasn't
one
terrible
cares
in
about
last
Hades.
year.
He's the king, and no one cares about him.
He's gone.
It seems.
A lot of these creatures are just like, this is like it's just some undead skeleton that's been enchanted. It doesn't have like intelligence per se.
Okay, that makes more sense. I
okay,
thought these were
anyone above 20?
intelligent creatures.
Natural 20 for 22.
22.
25.
24.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yes.
24 for Alexios.
Yeah, I basically just wasted a nat 20.
All right.
Yeah.
Adagio, Anura, what'd you guys get?
I got a
13.
21.
Jesus Christ.
I'm rolling on top of my diploma that
Whatever that
$80,000 is helping.
Yeah. Wow. Every single one of you goes before it. Love that.
I rolled a
Yeah.
13. How did he manage?
He got a 12.
Oh,
All right. So Ilmay, you're up.
Okay, I said I was pulling my rapier and stabbing this thing.
Go ahead.
Do I get advantage because I was invisible, or did he know I was there?
He knows you're there. He has true sight.
Oh dang.
He doesn't have
Sorry.
eyeballs, Sammy. That's
I don't think
bullshit.
you have to have eyeballs for true
That's
sight.
why his sight is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any
Cool,
problems.
Because he doesn't have eyes.
Nothing to deceive.
Okay, and then it's my assassinate thing. Okay. So I still get advantage because it hasn't taken a turn in combat yet.
Correct.
Speaking of
Oh.
eyes, while this is being rolled, how do you spell yes?
20.
Nothing.
22.
22 hits.
Okay.
Wow.
And then it's an auto crit.
Yes, so go ahead and roll all that damage.
A hit.
God bless. Only out here
Oh,
saving
that's
us.
God's
It's an auto
bless.
crit.
Yeah. Give me a second. There's a lot of dice in my hand. Okay. Um. 20, 30, 40, 50,
God, I'm
Gosh.
52, 58
Woo!
points of damage.
Damn!
Wow.
Nice!
Ilmay's out here just wrecking everybody. Y'all were talking about earlier, like, Honora does all this damage, not Ilmay.
Yeah, so, Ilmay, you
Only under
stab...
specific conditions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Honora trumps the damage.
Ilmay, you
Yes,
stab
sometimes.
into this skeleton, and you just sort of, like, swing your rapier around a bit, and you knock some pieces of bone out, because there's not really, like, blood to seep or anything like that, but you definitely, like, chop some bones up, yeah.
Dude, did
Wait
I
a
get a little
second.
sizzle with
Wait
my
a second.
acid
Hold on.
damage?
Sammy, are you meaning to tell us that Honora sticks in the rapier and just whisks this skeleton?
You've seen Surgeon Simulator. You know how you can just, like...
Alright, so the only thing that can make me think of is, like, that's how they used to give people lobotomies,
Sure.
so...
Oh no.
God.
Anything
they
else,
literally
Ilmay?
take an ice pick and
Um,
by your frontal lobe.
I'll use my bonus action to stab again.
Go ahead.
Another one.
That should hit. It's a 28.
That hits.
Okay. I roll again. Look at this. And that. Oh, wow. Okay, another 12 points.
Okay, nice. 70 points in one turn. That's awesome.
God bless.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you moving at all, Ilmay?
Nope.
All right. At the end of your turn, this skeleton knight seems to, like, feel around himself, and you just feel this surge of energy. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh god.
Who has the worst wisdom?
Oh,
Me!
oh.
Actually, I don't know. I just said
A
that.
saving throw?
Okay. Who has the worst
Oh,
wisdom?
okay.
I'm a
I
plus
got a
4.
+7.
I don't need it.
I got a net 20.
Okay.
Does anyone need
I don't think I
advantage?
did it either.
You can't give advantage. We're in combat.
I have underbrush.
Underbrush.
Once per long rest, when a creature
Oh.
within 30 feet of you makes a wisdom saving throw, you can give them advantage on their save.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
got a
I'll take
19.
it.
Does anyone need it?
Me.
I got a 22.
Me.
Take
Me.
it away. Take it.
Yay. Oh, thank God.
Multiple times. Give it to me.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay.
21.
Alexios?
Yeah, 18.
Okay. Only Alexios is affected.
Oh, thank God.
Damn.
God, I'm so glad I gave you the advantage on my.
Alexios, you feel yourself get weakened and slowed. Until the start of your next turn, which I guess isn't that big of a deal, because you're next. So actually, never mind. You're next, so nothing happens. Go ahead.
That was perfect. You could not have had that work out better.
Yeah.
That was
Alexis?
a high AF save throw, though.
Was it 20? Was the DC?
Yeah. Alexios?
Frozen.
Is he gone?
This is what happened just before
Why
break.
did the accent come out, Sammy?
I don't know. Alright, well, we will skip Alexios for now, and when he's back, we will have him go. But that means, Ryujin, you're up.
So, wait, what was Alexios?
What?
He was like a 24.
Yeah, he was 24.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Okay.
Is that the first time
So,
you've used this spell this whole
This
time?
is the first time I've ever used
Oh.
this spell. So,
I need clarification.
Yes.
yeah.
Need clarification?
21 to hit.
21 hits.
I need a precision of words, please.
I'm
All right.
not
I'll
proud of
explain it.
that
I'll
one.
explain it. So basically, what this is a beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards a creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Basically, on a hit, the target takes a certain amount of damage, and on each of my turns for the duration, which is up to a minute, as long as I'm inside the range and I don't take damage or lose concentration, I can just automatically pulse it with more damage.
Nice.
So, that first bit is going to be $32 points of damage.
Wait, does he make a save or something?
I don't believe so. I think it's just the damage. Yeah.
Wait, do you not? You don't have to attack or anything like that?
I rolled a 21.
Oh, yep, you're right. Sorry. How much damage was it?
Shit, what did I say?
33.
33.
Glad somebody can remember because I had no clue.
It's a good thing you
This
heard.
bolt of lightning just shatters around it. Okay.
Yes. So that was my action, right?
Mhm.
Right. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I'm just going to summon the tentacle, the spectral tentacle, not the big B. Just
Gotcha.
the OG.
The OG tentacle, which is really a wave, not a tentacle.
Yes, the wave.
Yeah.
That's the one. Nice.
There you go.
We'll just I'll have him right there in a good range, the three of us, take a little bit of damage, do a little bit of stuff. So he's gonna make an attack. Wait, why did I roll a D12? Dumbass. I actually haven't used this for a little while. Why do I always forget what to add to it? I'm sorry. I'm struggling right now. I'm pretty sure I add just my spell modifier, right? Which is 8. So 19?
19 misses.
Fuck. Okay. Well, it makes 2.
Oh,
Right?
go ahead.
Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't want to lie.
You know what this means?
What?
I can finally use that stupid rune.
That's true.
Silent Killer. Like I've never had a purpose. Stab.
Hmm. Nope. I was confused. It's the damage is increased to 2d8. I don't.
Gotcha.
Attack
Okay, so
twice.
yes, that does miss,
That
unfortunately.
is it. Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I will use that a little bit of. Here, I'm gonna move so 5, 10, 20, 25. I'll move right there, and that is the end of my turn.
All right. It is the end of your turn, which means once again another aura blasts out. I need everyone to make another Wisdom saving throw.
I can't help you this time.
God damn it.
What was the DC for
Oh
this?
God.
I rolled a 10 altogether.
24.
Okay.
10.
No.
I
Okay.
rolled a 10 too. Haha, twins.
Okay.
Oh, it was a 26.
All right, Alexios.
We're doing great.
18.
What, Alexios?
18.
Okay, so Adagio, Alexios, and Anura, or not Anura, Ilme.
I was about to say.
Yeah. You each feel yourself getting weakened and slowed. You have disadvantage on all saving throws, and your speed is halved
Until my next turn.
until the end of your next turn.
And
And
Forever.
I thought it
This
was
is
the
a
beginning.
permanent effect.
Alexios, you can go now. I know we'll go back in time and said that you went earlier.
Still flashback.
Sorry.
Animation.
Now, question. If I move right here, am I flanking?
Yes, you are flanking.
Am I flanking?
Okay.
You are not flanking Adagio.
Am I not in range?
You're in range, but you need to have someone
Well,
on the corner to be flanking.
You have to get opposite me.
So I am going to take out the flame tongue longsword
Okay.
and attack him twice. Yes.
Go ahead.
First one is 28 to hit,
28 hits.
and the second attack is first.
What was the second one? I didn't hear him.
They were both 28.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, I think with robotic and bad.
I am going to arcane jump first one.
Okay.
So 11, 12, 14 plus. I think it's 5.
So 19 total?
14 total. Yes, for the
Alrighty. Second strike.
and 16. 16 plus 5, so 21.
Okay. Alright. Anything else, Alexios?
I didn't say bonus action ignite, but I did want to do that.
Okay. You can do that now.
And that's it.
Gotcha. Alright. That brings us to Anura.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take the star form for Archer. Because
Okay.
that's just a free thing I can do and be done with it. And then I'm going to cast Fire Shield
Okay. Damn.
and take the. Did the fire damage? Did Alexios just do fire damage?
He did.
Did it look like it did the full amount of damage?
Looks like it.
Okay, I'm gonna go and take the Warm Shield then.
Alright, so you watch as Avatar State Anura is suddenly engulfed in these warm flames, and you can see that their starry form, which is already bright, is now physically actually glowing with fiery light. Okay, so it is a warm shield, so you are resistant to cold.
Yes, but it also does reactive damage.
Yep.
So I'm going to move over to this corner, but I want to leave its melee range to do it.
I see. Okay. What's it gonna hit you? Okay.
But just I'm gonna stay out of it and not in my turn in it. So
I see. I see what you're saying.
Like,
I see what you're saying. Does a 27 hit you?
it does.
Okay. So first of all, he takes that damage.
Yes, and I'm also going to go ahead and use my reaction to do Hellish Rebuke, so he's going to have to make the save for that.
Okay. It's a dex save.
Yes.
That is a 13.
I don't know. I can't find it. I'm sorry. Why doesn't it tell me?
Just say fails.
I think it does.
Okay.
It doesn't
Yeah, I think
matter.
it does
You lied.
fail.
Go ahead and roll.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it so I can
Okay,
make
just
sure.
go ahead and roll. It's okay.
Okay. Hellish Rebuke is at. Yeah, he does fail. It's 14. Okay. Where's the 2d8? Okay, so it takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yes, 11. 11 points of fire damage from the shield.
Okay.
And then takes 3d10 from this. So 3, 10, 18 points of fire damage from Hellish Rebuke.
All right.
And while I'm still out of its range, I'm going to go ahead and take the shot for Archer.
Wait. It needs to roll damage on you first.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I completely forgot. My
Yeah.
bad.
Okay, so luckily you are resistant to necrotic,
Yes.
so this won't hurt as bad. That's gonna be 9 points of necrotic, which is half from
Total?
18. Yeah.
Okay.
And your strength score is reduced by 3.
My strength score is already a plus. It's okay.
Your strength
Other
score is
mod-
reduced
I
by
can't
3.
save from that.
No, that's part of the attack.
Oh, great. I have a strength score of 8.
So as he sort of like scrapes upon, he's not even using his longsword for this. He's literally just scraping at you, and you can feel his nails dig into you, and this sort of necrotic energy makes your blood seep out of you, and you feel yourself physically weaken. And you do clock, as you're running and as you're getting ready to shoot your archer attack, something about the blood leaving your body. The hounds seem to be noticing a new scent in the air. What do you
Oh
do?
no. Throw some more jerky.
I mean, I in theory could change to Chalice and heal myself. I don't know if that would help though. I'm gonna go ahead then and take that shot for Archer.
Go ahead.
Oh, I rolled to a 20 and then went back, and I can't do math. 23? Yeah, that's how you do math. 23.
That hits.
Okay, another 2d8 plus 4. Now, this is the first time I've actually used the bonus action from Archer since it went up in damage, I think. Oh, God. 17 points of radiant damage from that.
Okay. You got it.
And then I'm gonna move right to be flanking with Adagio.
Sounds good. And for its credit, this creature is looking like he's getting fucking pummeled here. Alright. That brings us to Adagio.
I was proud of that round. I schemed that so well.
I'll pull out my redemption. And I'll rage.
Okay, and you are flanking now.
Yay. I can hold redemption and a rapier, right?
Not at the same time, no.
Why not?
I mean, I guess you... So, to two-hand wield, like to wield two weapons in two different hands, they both need to have the light quality.
Isn't redemption a light weapon?
It
think
emits
it is.
light, but I don't believe it's a light weapon, no. Longswords typically aren't light.
Oh, weird. I might have just like randomly
mean,
been like, la la la.
Technically, though, how much does the flame blade really weigh? Being plasma.
You're right,
Technically, it's
but
just
no,
got the weight of the
it's a
handle.
versatile weapon. It's not a light weapon.
I mean, plasma does have some weight, but not a lot.
Oh, well.
Okay,
well,
I mean
I'll-
noticeable weight, not like scientific.
All right, Adagio, what are you doing?
I will rage tail so that I can reaction protect myself.
Okay,
And then I'll hold the sword of both hands and then I'll swipey swipe.
go ahead.
It
Wait,
weighs
where's my-
1/1000
weapon?
of a gram.
There
Oh,
we go.
it's less than that.
Okay, it's a plus 10 now. Say less.
Last one.
Just roll this. That is a 21.
21 hits.
I'm so glad that was an 11. For my d10s. There we go. And then he comes what is it now? With the little rune?
I don't know, you
He's
tell
like-
me.
He's vulnerable to damage from this weapon.
Oh,
so
so it's as if you crit it, so go roll double damage.
Double damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hey.
They were back. Well, I mean, they were decent.
plus-
15 plus
Is
6.
redemption
21
radiant?
points of radiance.
How much? Sorry.
21 points of radiance.
Nice.
Rolled a 9 and a 6, and I plus 6. Woods.
Awesome.
How does he look more affected by the radiant damage?
Oh man, I
didn't seem that
roll
way.
with advantage. Can I roll with advantage to see if I? Well,
Sure. Yeah, if you rolled it, I mean, I guess it wouldn't
would've been the
really
same.
matter.
Yeah,
Well,
right?
yeah, if
Yeah.
you rolled a nat 20, then it would be quadruple the damage.
Who's bet? Let's see what my other dice would have said. That's a 16. Oh, man,
All right.
so close, so close, y'all.
All right.
Imagine.
Anything else, Adagio?
No, that was my
Probably
action
so
and
much
bonus action.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm not gonna move out of range because I don't feel like losing my strength.
All right. That brings us to finally the skeleton creature.
Oh,
Good, because
my head behind the
he
legs
is
just
looking
like-
he's looking not great right now.
I'm glad.
Okay, so what's it gonna do? It's going to make 2 longsword attacks against. Let's
Oh.
see.
I forgot to add 2
He's
points
not
of
me.
damage for my rage.
Gotcha.
Yay, rage.
2 longsword attacks against Ilmay. Sorry, Ilmay.
Oh no way.
Wait,
Not the
so
one with an already lowered
Those
constitution
swipes they
score.
made earlier
Oh,
were
man.
just like reaction.
You have 10 uses of shield. Remember,
Oh, wait,
What?
then.
What?
you have 10 uses of shield. Remember what? Didn't I give you that item last time?
No?
Confused.
What?
I thought
What?
you did.
No.
You mentioned it, but I don't know if you ever gave it to
Yeah,
me.
I thought I gave you. Yeah, I could have. If I didn't, then I didn't. I could have sworn I gave you an item. The not a replicate item, but the infusion with shield.
No.
So I have that.
You still
guess
have
I'm-
that.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Never mind. Don't
All
worry
right.
about it.
Ooh, one of those is a crit. The other
Oh god,
one.
I can't dodge!
Okay, you like uncanny dodge the crit. The other one is a 24.
Still hit.
Okay, so the uncanny dodge takes out half. So I'll just roll normal damage for both of them, and we'll call it a day. Actually, no, that's not fair. I'll roll the normal crit and have it like normal. Okay.
What's the difference?
Well, if I get a bad roll for the crit, then it's actually in your favor. It all depends.
What does
I need
count
to
as a
stop
light weapon?
sciencing things
Wrong dice.
in my
wrong
head.
dice.
Oh, it's okay. Let's just say light next to it. Haha.
So that's 25 slashing damage halved to 12,
Okay.
plus 17 necrotic damage halved to 8
Okay.
on the first attack. Second attack
Okay.
is 20 points of slashing
Okay.
and 16 points of necrotic. And then it will make another strength drain attack against Anura since it seemed to do so well the first time. That's a math 22 to hit.
That definitely hits me.
Okay. That is gonna be
Oh, I could subtract from that. I forget that I can subtract from attack rolls.
it's gonna be
But I don't have a reaction anyway.
okay. It's only gonna be 5 points of necrotic halved from 11.
Okay.
And then your strength score is reduced again by 2.
What happens if
I'm
your strength
6.
goes to 0?
She dies. They die.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, frick. I know that.
That's how that
I have
works.
a 6.
Okay. And I need everyone to make another wisdom saving throw, please.
Burr.
I'm over carrying capacity because my strength has gone down so much.
There goes your
Wisdom?
movement.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
That's a 15.
Baby, what is this? Bullshit.
12.
Okay.
19.
This is some bullshit.
but I'm gonna +5 that.
Okay.
25.
Okay, Adagio and Ilme, you are once again, your speed is halved and you have disadvantage on all saving throws.
So
Right,
does
and she
that
still
mean
has
my
speed.
speed is like quartered or like halved and then halved
No,
again?
it doesn't stack.
Okay.
So, but you now still have the effect.
Alright.
Okay, that is its turn, but it is definitely looking rough. But the hounds seem to be interested in the blood that has been flowing. That brings us to Ilme.
How rough does the skeleton look?
Real rough.
Okay, I'm risking it.
Like sandpaper.
Risking it for the biscuit.
Or like one
Yeah.
fly.
Like this, like you're not really sure what sort of arcane magic is keeping this skeleton together, but it looks like part of it is failing.
Okay. So I get advantage because I'm flanking.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hate to be like, let's kill this really cool creature that Sammy has for us to fight, but also, it's drained my strength down to 6.
Is that a lesser restoration, or should I put you to sleep?
I have greater restoration.
Okay. So I rolled really badly. So I don't think it's gonna hit because it's just a 17.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, it does not. With advantage, it was 17?
I rolled a 2 and a 7.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah.
Our luck is unrivaled in the fact that we go from yeah to what?
Yeah. Anything else, Ilme?
I will do it again.
Go ahead.
Got this.
21.
21 hits. Go ahead with sneak attack.
Okay.
What does it mean when something has a reach property?
It means that instead of needing to be 5 feet from the target, you can be whatever that reach says. So if it's a reach of 10 feet, it means that you can be 10 feet away and still hit it with a melee weapon.
Sammy, can I not move at all now that I'm over carrying capacity?
What does your character sheet should have automatically changed to your new speed?
It still says 30 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it should be 10.
Let me make sure that it changed and it wasn't something else, but...
If it hasn't changed, I believe it should be 10 either way.
32 points.
32 points. Let's see what happens now.
So I'm at 10. Yeah, it didn't
Uh,
automatically change it. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, it is hanging on by a thread.
Oh no!
It is
wow.
hanging on by a literal thread.
Well, so am I. So.
All right, is that your turn, Ilme?
Listen,
Going
Omei,
to-
say.
All right, Alexios, you're up.
Did you move on me?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Me nor Ilme could deal with moving right now. It's gonna come back.
23 to hit for the first one.
23
Oh.
hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that first before you roll anything else.
I just realized, I remembered, we're in the underworld. It's gonna come back.
Well, this thing isn't a person, right?
Is it just people?
22. Right, CD.
Okay. So you see, as you slice into it, it like the bones sort of just like fall apart, and you can see it for a moment. The bones attempt to like reanimate themselves, but it is without success, and the bones just fall into non-magical, non-people shaped bones.
So it's done. It's not coming back.
It's not currently alive.
Wait too long.
Did my strength score come back
Can
up?
I search the body?
Your strength score did not come back up.
Oh god.
What are you doing,
Can I
Alexios?
search the body? Can I search like the bones for anything to put in Hades' hand?
I mean, they're all bones. Is there something you're looking for specifically?
I don't know, a different bone, one that shines or something. I don't know.
Okay, you already
Many
used
bones
your
for
action, but
magic.
I'll let you make a perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Just because
I can do
you've already
that.
been attacking and stuff.
Okay. I got a 17 naturally.
Okay.
18.
18. Okay. Just looking basically through them, you do see one that seems to have, unlike the others, there looks to be a line of gold along one of the bones, which looks to be the femur.
I fucking know it. God damn it.
We
I
can't
just
give that
failed my
assessment
check.
to Risten.
I'm
I
just gonna
can't believe it,
go.
Sammy. What
gonna
went through your
go,
mind when I was like, it looks like it could hold a femur? Were you like, shit, he's off me?
I mean, listen, I gave you the clue. If a loyal dog you wish to meet, best to offer a tasty treat.
A
I
femur?
thought
Yeah,
you
the
meant
line
to
just forward and then
Cerberus
he went.
specifically.
I'm gonna look at Ryujin's next, right?
Ryujin
yes.
is next, yes.
I'm gonna point at the bone and go, "Holy shit, you were right, femur."
I'm gonna freak out at just the same energy, like, holy fucking shit!
All right,
You were right.
Ryu, you're up.
Okay. So automatically, I'm gonna pump another witch bolt into this guy.
Go ahead.
And that's gonna just do damage.
Yeah.
now. So.
Are you like zapping his corpse?
Yeah.
Okay.
We hope
I'm
I hope it doesn't
just-
Frankenstein it
It's
and actually
Persephone,
reanimate
I
it.
have. It's allied with Persephone. I have
Oh my
no problems with
goodness.
this at this point.
39 points of damage.
You electrocute it so hard that one of the bones like pops and falls off the cliff. It doesn't seem to take any additional damage though.
Sick. All right, just had to make sure. Yeah, I'll take the femur. Yeah.
All right, you take the femur.
I'll hold it. I'll just stare at it and off for a second, and then put it on the.
It almost seems to click into place. You hear a little as it rests on Hades' hands. And then, impossibly slowly, you see the statue begin to sink.
Grab extra bones.
Yeah, I'll pocket I'll get the other femur and just like arm bones, couple ribs. You
Yeah.
know. Screw it.
As it sinks into the stone, you see the sort of like ceremonial stonework around it, that's sort of like in this circle around the statue, begins to also sort of descend, almost stretching, as it seems like in a more magical than material sense, almost like a plug has been pulled and the statue is sort of draining into the mountain itself. Anura, you're up.
Can I cast Greater Restoration on myself and see what happens?
Sure, mark off the diamond.
Will it help?
Nope.
Oh no!
Damn.
Am
Oh
I
my
permanently at a 6?
Weak as shit.
I can't move
If
more
you-
than 10 feet a
If you
turn.
want, I'll let you make a medicine check.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah.
I just
You
spent
like
100
to-
diamonds, and
You could temporarily attune
can I have
to
made the medicine check
gauntlets
before I
if you
spent
want.
100 diamonds? Sammy?
No.
Oh my god.
You're making the
That's my
medicine
last
check now
skill
because
point.
you were convinced that would work, and now that it hasn't, you're trying to figure out
Fair.
what could possibly work.
24.
24?
Eat a fruit.
Maybe you just need to chill out for like an hour.
Oh my god. I just used the diamonds that were in Hades' hands. Screw it.
Anything else, Anura? That's basically your turn. But if you want to move or anything.
Yeah, all 10 feet.
Yeah.
I guess I might as well try and start going down where the statue's at, because it's going to take me forever to catch up.
Okay. You begin to make your way You move past Ilme, and you're like at the border of where it starts to descend. Okay, that
If
brings
this
us.
thing comes back and hits me again, I'm screwed.
That brings us to the Hellhounds.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I just got closer to them.
I forgot they existed, to be honest.
Yep.
Doing great.
And they begin to descend 5, 10, 15.
Is Ryujin still there? Didn't he move the bone?
Oh yeah, technically Ryujin should be up here. You're right. You're absolutely right. So instead it goes 5, 10, 15, 20.
They won't attack me. I look just like them.
Impossibly fast. Impossibly fast, these creatures and begin
Can I have
to
some lips, Steve?
attack you. Ooh, this is fun.
I'm gonna increase my.
You
First,
must have a
Arms
crazy
crossed.
hit bonus, Sammy.
one of these hounds, let's say it's the one all the way on the far left, you hear it go as fire just emanates out of its throat. It's gonna hit Adagio, Alexios, and Ryujin, as well as the skeletal remains. I need you each to make a dexterity saving throw.
I can
I'm so
advance.
glad that didn't hit me or Ilme. The two squishies are just kind of like, please no.
A 14.
14.
18.
14, 18. Alexios?
17.
Okay. So, you each take 8 points of fire damage, which means Alexios, you take 4 points of fire damage.
Guardian Coil.
It's real far away. Does it have to be close to you or close to the source?
Close to me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Six. So I only take 2 points.
There you go. The second hound is going to also breathe fire, but it's only going to hit Adagio and Alexio, so I need you guys to make dexterity saving throws again.
That was not as good. A 10.
Okay.
18.
Okay. So that means, Alexios, you take 5 points of fire damage. That's already halved. And Adagio, you take 20 points of fire damage.
Oh my god. Why don't they attack me? I look just like them.
Okay.
The third hound is going to breathe fire on on Anura and Ilme. So I need you guys to both make dexterity saving throws.
I've already used my reaction, right? Because I uncanny dodged. Or do I get evasion?
I believe that was your last round, I believe.
I think you have it back, right?
Yeah,
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So
I'm
which
using
one
my
is breathing
evasion.
fire on me?
the one directly in front of you.
Okay.
Oof, good damage.
The 10?
Oh, wait. My evasion, I don't have to use a reaction. It just says if I'm subjected.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
subjected to the effect.
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay.
What'd you get?
I don't know. I haven't rolled yet. I'm scared. I only have 2 points. So I have to pass this thing.
Anura?
I was a
Oh, I
10.
have disadvantage. Don't I?
No,
Where's
it's
it
a new
gone?
round. It's a new round.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. 23.
Okay, so Ilme, because you succeeded, you take no damage.
Yes.
Anura, you failed, so you take 24 points of fire damage, which is
And that's
halved
halved.
to 12.
God,
and
I'm
then-
so glad I'm a tiefling.
And then the fourth one will mix it up and bite out at Ryujin.
Okay. I also tracked from his roll.
Go ahead.
Is it because I have an eye patch, Sammy?
Where's...
Yes.
Oh, my d6. Where'd it go? Oh,
Do
God.
it.
Okay, different d6, I guess. That is a subtraction of 5. Oh,
Okay.
no, I said it like that.
It doesn't matter because it was nat 20.
I tried.
You did try. You did try. That is 8 points of piercing, plus...
Wait, you said the one right in front of me bit at me?
No, the one right in front of you fired you. The one
So...
The one above that one is the one biting Ryujin.
Oh, but it's immune to fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, then the fire shield does nothing.
Yeah. This is 8. And then 13 points of fire, Ryujin.
Great googly moogly.
That's the Hound's turn. That brings us to Adagio.
Woot woot. There at last. What was I gonna do?
Listen, that's me right now. I have no clue. We're gonna get into some, like...
Okay, that does 16 at the most, and this one does...
random thing where we need to run, and I'm gonna be screwed.
Oh my god, I hate this. I hate not using magic. And I could always drop the rage, I guess. So we killing these things, or like... Should I be
I
like...
don't think we have much of a choice currently.
Non-lethal damage?
Non-lethal damage, I guess, yeah.
No, kill them.
Okay, murder it is.
That's 2-point Ilme.
Is it... What is it for me to like swap out my weapon?
It'd be a free action, I'd say.
Okay, bet. Take out my warhammer from my back and slam it onto his forehead.
Go ahead.
The Warhammer that we had to remove the curse from?
Did I have a curse? I don't think my
Bro,
warhammer...
that was a shield.
It's a +2 warhammer.
Yeah. You're thinking of
That's
the anvil arms.
25. Haha.
25
Yeah.
definitely hits.
The shield of missile attraction, and now it just has resistance against missiles.
Yeah.
Is the 0 a 10 or a 0?
0's a 10.
That is...
Can you imagine a
16
0 on a
points.
damage die? Sorry, what was that?
16 points of damage.
16 points of damage, you got it.
And I just
No
want to be
other
like,
dice has a 0.
I was confusion. Why is there a 0 on this dice?
Alright, you smack it
that's
with your
fair.
warhammer. You could feel its skull crack a little bit.
And then I do it again. I wish.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
I wish. Imagine if I could just
Sammy
pick it
was
up.
ready.
attack it.
Yeah, I was ready.
I know. Oh my god.
Anything else, Adagio?
I want to like. I know I can't attack it, but can I just like hit it in the face with my tail and be like, one of y'all?
Alright, top of the round. You see the sinkhole begins to get ever deeper, and you actually now are starting to lose sight of the statue as it's going deeper and deeper, and you're just starting to see a dark hole. Ilme, you're up.
Is there like stairs to go down
No,
this?
it is a hole.
Are we falling into the hole? Are we all just like casually like?
Okay, fine. I shall pull out a potion of healing.
Okay.
Which one do I want to use?
Just use one of your mini superiors that you stole.
I only have one left. I've
my
used so many of them. I'm gonna use my greater. I'm
Okay.
gonna use my greater. So 4d4 plus 4.
Need to start brewing healing potions again.
It takes so long.
Depends on the one I make.
Yeah, but the small ones don't do that much at this point.
Yeah, but you can do that as a bonus action on somebody, or an action on somebody else, I guess.
Okay, so
Right.
I got 12 back,
You got it.
and I guess I am going to go to the hole,
Okay.
and I'm jumping in.
Okay. You just leap over Ryujin, and you just disappear into darkness.
All we hear is Geronimo.
Yeah. Alonzi.
right.
Alonzi.
That's Ilme's turn. That brings us to Alexios.
I want to free action switch out the sword with the pistol,
Okay.
or does that take a bonus action?
No, that's fine. That's a free action to change your weapon.
Okay. So then, do I want to do? No, I'm gonna take 2 shots at both, or at each hellhound, or yeah, 1 shot at each hellhound next to Dagio.
You got it. Go ahead for the one on the left.
That is a 18.
That hits.
All right. And what is it? Okay. 10, 11 points of damage.
All right.
And for the other one, 29 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And I'm going to arcane jolt that one.
What kind of damage is that?
Force.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
17 points of damage. Sorry.
All right.
And then for my movement, I am going to take off after Ilme and jump into the hole.
What? You as well disappear into the darkness. That
Drag me
brings.
with you.
Sorry.
I said, drag me with you.
That brings us to Ryujin.
I
Now,
can actually make it with
Ryujin, you have an
Yes.
interesting decision to make. As the ground underneath you is falling away, are you trying to stay up here, or are you letting yourself fall?
So how do Honora and Adagio look?
Honora looks weak.
The hit points wise, I'm good though.
Yeah.
Okay. So Adagio, jump in the damn hole.
I just worked.
I'm sorry that I just work here.
What can I? Hold on. Excuse me one second.
So, first of all, are you deciding to try to stay up here, or no?
No, I don't. I mean, because I feel like I was going down on that platform with them, so I feel like at this point it's out of my hands because I was right there.
Yeah,
on it, basically.
essentially, I'm allowing you the opportunity, if you wanted to have jumped off.
I mean, this is where we need to go. I would be worried about my friends, but that didn't work out so well for me, like a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
So can I like maybe make an attack on the way down? Or is
It'll
it
be
too
at
late for that?
disadvantage, but yeah, you can.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and do that.
Sure.
I'll just blast the ones in front of. I'll do 2 in front of Nora and 1 for one of the wolves in front of Adagio. So.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first one is going to be 16 with disadvantage. Wait, actually, hold on. I didn't add anything.
It's gonna hit anyway. Actually, they have really low AC.
Okay. So the damage for that is 8d10 plus 4. So, that's 15 damage.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
the second blast going to a different wolf or the same wolf?
So the second blast is gonna go to the same wolf.
Go ahead.
With this, that's gonna be a 17.
17 hits. Roll damage.
12.
12 points of damage. You got it.
Okay. And that was on the one directly to my right.
Correct. Yeah.
And then I will shoot. I'll shoot my third bolt into the one directly in front of Adagio.
You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 22. I rolled a 14 and a nat 20, and I have a +8. So,
Yep, you're good.
Is that wrong track? No, it's not. That's the right. What am I? 7 plus 4. That's it. 11.
11 points
Yeah.
of damage.
11 points of damage.
Oh my god, it is 1 hit point from death.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and then as my bonus action, could I actually have the tentacle maybe make an attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just on the one
On the
directly in
same
front of.
hound.
Yeah, the one directly in front of me.
Yeah.
16.
16 hits.
That is gonna be 15 points.
15 points. Nice. Nice round.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay,
All
next
right.
my turn.
And then you fall. Huh? You are gone as well. That brings us to Anura. You're up.
With my non-existent speed.
Yeah. You even
Um.
with only 10 feet of speed, you can get to that central area that would allow you to fall in if you'd like.
So does the strength thing affect if I take a wild shape?
No. You would still
So
take
it-
your physical qualities from your new shape.
Okay, so it wouldn't. My strength would go back to normal and everything.
Yeah, and go back to whatever
Well, I was
the
in that
animals
shape.
is, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to check real quick. Where are wild shapes? Those are familiars. Where's my wild shape? Okay. Every time I look at it, it makes me laugh because diseased giant rat is a thing I can turn into. I am then, as my bonus action, going to drop the starry form
Okay.
and turn into a giant owl and fly down my full 60 feet.
All right. So you get big and you fly down the hole.
Yes.
All right.
I still have dark vision in this for some unknown reason.
And that
Everything has dark vision for me.
that brings us to the hounds.
Can I see down the hole now that I'm going down it? Because I've got dark vision for 120 feet.
You see Ryujin falling below you.
Did I catch up to him since I can fly 60 feet down? Or is he just falling?
He's falling.
Oh, God. Okay.
It does seem like the whatever hole this is, whatever tunnel it is sort of on a slant. So he's not like falling in nothingness. It looks like he's almost like
Oh,
sliding.
okay.
He's sliding.
I thought you meant he was falling in nothingness.
No, he's sliding, but the slide is like not a friendly slide. It is a very steep slide. He is picking up speed. So, Adagio. All these
Yay.
hounds.
Just ready to
Did
watch
any of
me
them get attacks of
die.
opportunities on me when I moved?
No.
Golly.
Let's see how many of them get their breath weapon back.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
No, don't unknow me. No, oh no.
That's 3 out of the 4.
God damn it.
So, my friend, I'm gonna need you to make 3 dexterity saving throws, please.
Okay, I want an advantage because I get advantage for being a barbarian.
That's true.
What's okay? First one. What is my? Damn it, that's a 14.
Natural one.
14 succeeds.
Oh, okay. This one is a natural 20, so
Succeeds.
ooh. And my last one is 11.
So you only, I mean, you still take half damage from 2 of them, but you only take full damage from 1 of them, which is nice. So that's gonna be... Okay. That's still a lot of damage.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm looking at my health points.
of damage. Be merciful, Samuel.
Would you say I can see the sun from here?
Hold on.
Apollo's dead, bro. Get with the program.
This is the denial stage.
So first of all, okay, let me write down the number so I can not forget it. Although this neighborhood exists in perpetual sunset, there is no actual sun that you see. It's just like the sky itself is full of color.
Ooh.
That being said, you take 42 points of fire damage.
Gar Larfendarken. You said 42?
42. Are you still up?
Yes.
Great.
I'm
One
done.
of them still gets to bite you.
Can I use my tail reaction to add to my AC?
Yes.
Aha. Take that.
Let's see if it helps you.
I hope it does.
I hope it does too. Does a 22 hit?
God damn it, my new AC is 21.
Sorry.
3.
That's
Pop
just
off
that.
again.
Honestly, that's just really bad luck.
That's okay. Unless this has a serious amount of damage, I should still be
Adagio is
fine.
not dead.
Okay, so that
God,
is
Am I gonna
all
have 4 attacks of
down.
opportunity if I take one step to the damn right?
maybe. That is 5 points of piercing and 9 points of fire.
So 14. I'm still standing.
That's their turn. All you, baby.
Oh my! Can I even? What? Take a step to the right. It's like I'm gonna rip my throat out.
Okay,
Could
so
imagine
as you
if we're all
take
just in that, like,
as you take
platform?
one step to the right, you're only leaving 2 of their melee ranges. So you will
Yeah,
take
but then
2
I
attacks of
fall
opportunity.
Disengage?
But when I fall down the hole,
As soon as you fall, you're no longer under your own free will, so that doesn't constitute an attack of opportunity.
will I survive this though? Is
Let's
my
find
question.
out. Since they
Let's
both have
find out.
advantage.
It's
They
okay
both-
because if they will I still fall over like into the hole if I.
You'll just be falling in the hole unconscious.
Yeah, they both have
Dodge,
advantage
I
because
have
of pack tactics.
On his
have
next
a-
roll.
Just disengage.
Separate question though. Am
He
I
already used
still
his action. He
without
can't
plus-
disengage.
Oh, damn.
Did I use my action?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought you. I didn't know you
What was
did.
my action?
yeah. It's. Oh, I guess no. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You can absolutely
Wait,
disengage.
is this currently my turn? Or
Yes.
did they go already?
100%. You should
Oh.
disengage.
Oh my!
You can
Yes.
disengage and just go.
Disengage.
Yeah, you disengage and you
I've
go.
been saying
I
that.
disengage to go. Yeet. I just take. I like.
Wait. You can use
That's like
disengage as
jump
like an
back.
action or bonus action or what?
As an action.
As an act.
Anybody?
Anybody can use it as an action.
If you're a rogue.
I'm
Yeah.
God.
Rogues get
I thought it was only rogues.
Rogues have a
Rogues
bonus
get
action.
it as bonus.
It's just like how everyone can use their action to dash, but rogues can use their bonus action to dash.
Wow, I literally have. You learn something new every day. There's
Yeah.
many times that would have come in handy.
Adagio
Points
picked
I
up a
have,
piece of jerky
you
off the
think
ground and threw it the other way.
I
and
would have
jumped in.
survived.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Alexios for that clutch play.
Yeah.
So all 5 of you are sliding. Well, one of you's flying, but you're all sliding down this black, endless tunnel, and it is like the most crazy roller coaster ride you've ever been on. Like, you are constantly getting like sort of battered this way and that, and you're going at various velocities, and it feels like you are going all over the place.
Can I catch up to Ilme and Adagio and like?
You
Slide
can
them down
you can
since
catch up
they
to
don't-
Ryujin,
Oh.
but it's also hard to fly here because it's constantly changing directions, so you're never going at like full Mach speed. You know what I mean?
Okay. Since Adagio was after me, can I like catch him on his way down and carry him and Ryujin down so they don't take as much damage?
They're not taking any damage right now.
Oh, but I mean, if they hit the bottom, would they?
You don't know.
Is there a bottom?
Considering I know Adagio's not doing too hot, I'm gonna carry Adagio down.
Sure. So you actually try to like slow yourself down, trying to like buffet the air, and you see Adagio sliding, and you grab him with your talons, and you're just like sort of flying with Adagio in your talons. One by one, Ilme, Alexios, Ryujin, and then Anura and Adagio, you all suddenly see bright light, and then you are thrown out tumbling onto a sort of gravelly stone surface. You all sort of get to your feet. You haven't taken any additional damage, but that certainly wasn't comfortable. And you look, and for a moment, your stomach drops, and you think that you are back at the doors of judgment. It's the same sort of, like, you see two enormous walls on either side of you that you assume lead into neighborhoods. You see the palace of Hades directly in front of you. But after the initial shock, you see that there are no doors in front of you, and the angle of the palace is different than what you've previously seen. You are on some other pathway between the neighborhoods. And right before you, right where this pathway hits the temple of Hades, you see an enormous, ornate stone archway. And beyond it, darkness.
Drop my wild shape and
Wait, can I
cast
see
Aura
through this
Vitality and heal everybody back to full.
Sure.
How far away is this darkness you speak of?
It only spit you out maybe like 60 feet away from this archway.
Oh, well, before I
have
drop, can I
dark
use the
vision.
extra 60 feet I have of dark vision to see into the darkness?
Yeah, it looks like you're seeing into a cave, but it goes on past your dark vision.
Yeah. I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Same deal.
I've got 120 when
Yeah.
I'm in the owl form.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Okay,
Well-
well, then I'm dropping and going back to I'm casting Aura Vitality, so everyone, you're back at your max hit points.
Sick nasty.
Can we wait until my strength is no longer reduced to move?
You are,
Yeah,
I will say, you are right now completely out in the open.
Let's find somewhere to hide and do
Let's
that.
go into
And I'll
that
also,
cave.
yeah, let's do that. We gotta do something.
I say let's book it to the cave.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was there light here? How are we seeing?
Yeah, it's like the residual light, the ambient light of the underworld. You are seeing the same light right now as when you were at the doors of judgment.
Okay. It's the
I'm
cave
turning invisible and going to the cave.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go hide, because I've gotta rest.
Will you all make stealth checks for me?
No, I don't think I will.
Do I need
Hope
to
we
check
get
if
advantage.
should I have rolled
It's not great.
to see if I still have Pass Without a Trace up? Because I never cast another concentration spell.
Would you have lost it though when you changed into an owl?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
How much
as long
damage
as I
did you
cast the
take?
spell before I
You-
change.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of rolls that I just didn't realize you were concentrating.
'Cause I have advantage on all of my Constitution saves for that.
Go ahead and just roll me 1d20.
Okay. Just as a Constitution save, or just
Just a
regular
blank
D20?
d20, because there's probably like 8 rolls that we should have made.
Okay. That is a 14.
Okay, so yeah, it's still up.
Okay, so everyone's still got a plus 10 on the stealth roll.
Thank God.
So 24
I have,
then.
19 altogether.
25.
23.
Alexios? You're muted.
Dang it, I was muted.
Yeah.
I got a 33. I rolled a natural 20.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So you all
Wait, is that?
You
rush
outrode the roll.
as quickly and quietly as you can into past this stone archway. And it's bizarre, like, you are very clearly walking into a cave, but it is also a cave at the base of Hades' palace. Like, you are walking into what should be Hades' palace, but it is very much a cave that you are walking into. And you find yourself in an enclosed stone cave. What most of you can see without dark vision is you're on a sort of a stone platform that dips a bit and descends into the cave at large. What Ryujin sees, in the center of this enormous cave, there is an enormous three-headed beast of a dog in the center of the room.
Is that outside of my dark vision range?
Yours is 60?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ryujin, you see on all three of these heads is a thick collar. One is red, one is black, one is white. All with these metal spikes sticking off of it. And you can see this almost like vaguely purple energy that every once in a while emanates from the collars. And it seems like Cerberus is not asleep, but is generally at rest.
Okay, I will relay all of this information very, 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 very quietly.
You guys just like watch as like
I'm-
as you come in, Ryujin's entire body just like seizes up, and he's like
I'm not even
barely
gonna.
moving.
I'm gonna grab everyone with my arms, bring us all in. So like literally, I got an ear here, here, and here, and I will whisper it as quietly as I can, and just relay all that and point to where it is.
So do we sneak past it, or do we wake it up and try to talk to it?
Say what?
We have to
Do you
take
think-
we need to rest first. I cannot do anything if we don't rest first.
I mean, we can't rest here, right?
I can only move 10 feet right now until we rest, and I don't have any more wild shapes to fix that.
Where are we gonna rest? We're in a cave with Cerberus.
Is Cerberus resting?
He is not asleep. He is generally at rest. You see one head is currently like licking and grooming a second head.
Can we attempt to stay in the mouth of the cave where we're hidden from the outside? And since we don't have to sleep or anything like that for this to be a rest anyway, can we take what's considered a short rest for us? And we just watch and make sure that nothing happens? We can break the rest if we need to, but...
What do you guys? Okay, hold on. So the collar, it's a red, a white, and purple.
Black.
One?
Black.
Black, and one of them is doing something kind of funky.
All three of them every once in a while are like emanating this sort of purple boost of energy. Doesn't
Like
seem to be.
Godzilla's scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but that's horrifying.
Would that be in the range of detect magic?
What's the range of detect magic?
Well, that's a good question. It's at the top of my spell list.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, 30 feet. I wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
get to it yet.
No.
Absolutely no.
I can detect it when we get closer to it, but
I mean, you could detect it, but it would probably be the last thing Honora would ever do.
I'm saying if we have to, when we have to get closer, I can try.
Yeah.
Can we try and rest? And if we have to get up and move, that's fine. But at least attempt it.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, the rest
I'll
of us can
keep-
stand watch since only really you need the short rest and region.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sure.
I'm kind of. Oh, I can only move 10 feet until we rest, so.
Nah, it's good. You look like shit.
Just go yourself away.
Thanks. Thanks, Ryujin. I would hit you,
You're
but it
welcome.
won't do anything. I don't think I even could.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Sammy, would I have even been able to like pick up underbrush and make an attack with underbrush?
Oh no.
I mean, it would default to 1 point of damage.
It's like.
That's really funny. So all of my stuff would have defaulted to 1 point of damage. Like I'm not even strong enough to pull back a bow right now.
Oh no.
This.
Yeah, we gotta rest, guys. I can't do anything.
Wait, what's your strength score at?
I'm at a 6 in total.
Oh, so you are 3 less than what I had up until I got these gauntlets.
Yeah, Yeah, this don't work whenever you have to like, pick up one of your weapons.
Why don't you give them the gauntlets?
Don't feel good. I am honestly really considering.
Legit, it's the gauntlets?
I have to attune to the
'cause-
gauntlets.
Yeah, which would take like an hour, which would
It
be a
takes an
rest
hour
anyway.
anyway,
Right,
so
right,
what's
yeah.
the point?
Because that was my first thought. If that was like a long-term thing, I was like, I'll just give it one gauntlets. Like,
The third head sniffs the air.
Did he just whine? Did I hear that right?
that was me.
Oh, I thought it was Cerberus. I was like, oh.
You see Cerberus stands, and he towers over you guys.
I cast darkness on us.
You're already in the dark, but okay.
Well, this is magical darkness now.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't matter. I just
You
Worth a
see
shot.
Cerberus shakes himself, turns around a couple times, and you actually see Ryujin, you being the only one who can see, under where he's laying is an enormous, about 10 foot by 10 foot trapdoor.
You son of a bitch! I know what this is
Before
from.
he sits back down.
For Severus Snape when you need it.
I'm telling you, we just put him to sleep.
Can we sing Pattern of the Palace and put him to sleep? I feel like that's very fitting right now.
I'll relay that to everybody else as quietly as I can.
I don't know, but if we put him to sleep, he'll be on top of the trap door.
Should we wait till Honora's rest?
Yeah, can we do that real quick?
I mean, we can hope he doesn't smell us and come over to eat us.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I think it already smelled us.
Might as well give it a try. Let's go.
All right. So here in this momentary magical darkness, in the entryway to the lair of the great mythical Cerberus, you all are trying to get an hour of rest. That's where we'll pick up next week.
I was going to say, does anything happen? Because I was going to cast Druid Grove if it didn't work.
We'll find out. We'll find out how long this short rest lasts.
Find
Actually,
out
wait
next
a second.
time on
Before we
TNT.
sit down, can I just say this so like somebody else can remind me that I was to do this next week?
Huh.
Because darkness lasts for 10 minutes, I think.
Uh-huh.
During that 10 minutes, I will start casting Druid Drove to give us that protection where we can kind of hide a little bit better because it takes 10 minutes to cast Druid Drove.
Okay.
Druid Grove. Oh my god.
I will let you know that a spell like that will absolutely draw attention.
Okay, never mind.
Just so you know. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
So you can think on that, and we'll come back to that moment next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Exciting. This has the potential to be the first mythic encounter that the party has ever faced. We'll see what happens next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Very much looking forward to this next phase of the prison break? Prison break. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week, same time, same place, 7:30, twitch.tv/Drachmae and Demigods. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.